word in the English, digital.
Yeah, it's digital right now.
Yeah, so I'm inviting everyone in the UAE who's there watching right now to come visit us here in Atnek. Because here, if you love football, basketball, you will have it all. I was there actually yesterday in the hall 10 where they do physical basketball,
Oh,
digital basketball. That's how they call it. It's very nice.
yeah, it's actually the digital side of games right now is showing up a lot. Even it's so much fun. Actually, I went to the other halls as well the other day.
Uh-huh.
They're actually very exciting things to see. As a gamer, it's something new for me. It's a
Yes,
new
and you
experience,
can
and it's
really
fun.
feel the vibe here in
Yeah,
Adlec.
exactly. Yes. So yeah, as you said, we're hoping like people would come and experience what we've experienced because it's so much fun and it's actually worth it. Yeah, it's worth it.
I recommend
Yes,
everyone to come.
Yep.
They need to come.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
definitely, because it's very much enjoyable. It's for everyone. It doesn't have a limit of age. Everyone
Yeah.
can come,
Yep.
children, your mom, your dad, even your grandparents can come.
Yeah, there is fun for everyone. Actually, there is always a chance for fun for everyone. So not a specific age. Anyone can come. Anyone can enjoy their time over here. So yeah, you're most welcome to join us in
Yes, and
AdNec.
we're just really excited here because John Fong and Team Vamos is coming up. I think they are preparing and they're very much into it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they're kind of nervous right now. They're making their final strategies. To prepare before they actually join. Yeah.
All right, I think we can now. The teams are ready.
Games of the future. of the future entering the stage first. Let's welcome Team TFYG! All right, good luck, guys. You may take your seat now.
Of the future.
And now, Abu Dhabi, let's hear it for the opponent, Team Vamos! All right, guys, you can take your seat right now. Good luck, and let's get the competition started.
Hello? Hi, we are back again here in Game of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. And as we can see, our teams are getting themselves ready. We have here Team Vamos and John Fang, our analyst on the stage. Can you give us something we can say to? We were talking about earlier John Fang and Team Vamos and how they are gonna come up on top of this game.
As we can see, we have BMS and DFYG, like totally two teams, and they have totally different strategies, different play styles, and different journey they start with it from the playoffs, like from the group stages. And DFYG, I saw a lot of games for them, and it was tough for them to come, and it was equal games, and it was 1-1, and then they come up and they have now in the stage, and they are together with us now and playing on the stage. They have the stress of the stage and the vibe of the competitive things.
Yeah, it's actually great to see both teams here, and it's I cannot imagine how stressed they would feel right now, preparing for this match and the playoffs. So yeah, good luck for them, and it's great to see everyone here, getting ready to watch the match.
It's really exciting. The vibe here in Hall 9 is really much the best. I think we have the best audiences here in ADNEC.
Yeah. They're piling up right now, preparing to watch a great match between Team Vamos and John Peng. So good luck to everyone, and hope everyone would enjoy this match.
I'm very excited about the cup.
Oh yeah, I want to see it actually. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah.
We have a lot of, I think, John Fang fans here, along with Team Vamos fans.
Yeah, there are both fans from both teams actually watching, preparing, excited to see the draft pick and the match and everything else. Oh wow, this is I don't want to imagine myself sitting there right now, being in this position, stressed, in front of everyone. They would actually play offline right now. They're playing in front of audience, so it is very stressful for them.
Yes, because as we said, this is single elimination, guys.
It's do
So
or
the
die for them.
pressure is really there.
It's do or die.
Yeah. One mistake will say bye-bye to you.
Hopefully
But we
not.
wish both teams the best,
Yeah,
for sure.
we wish them all the best.
And they come up on top on group stage. So it's, they worked hard to be in this playoff.
Definitely. Rooting for Team Vamos over here. Soldier, what are you expecting? Tell me. Are you going to win?
We will see in the game.
I
Look,
think-
in the paper, DFYG. But maybe in the game, it's totally different. Maybe.
Okay, let's make it like this. I have here a John Fang who believes that John Fong will win, and I have here Team Vamos.
Yeah, that is very
So I
true.
think you need to.
You know, you want to have a bet.
Yes.
All right. You know what? Lunch is on me if John Feng wins. What do you think?
Perfect.
All right. We
Deal.
have a deal.
But if BMS will win,
You know, lunch is on me.
خلاص. Perfect.
How about me, guys?
No, you're included. No problem.
Ah,
With
okay,
two.
okay.
Both ways, you're with
Both
us.
ways, I'll have
Look,
lunch.
she have
Yeah,
win-win
free food.
situation.
Yeah, you have free food both ways. So yeah, now this is we're preparing for the draft, and as we can see, the first band. Uh, all right, so the first band is Basha. The second band from Team Vamos is Eve. So we have a roamer band or a jungler, and we have a mid laner band right now.
Tiba, I expected Eve ban because little bit like for the little bit in the playoffs, like the group stage, it was picked a lot.
Yes, it is very true, and she is such a crowd controller. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, she has lots of slows, lots of skills that would actually, be annoying for John Feng. So or Team Vamos both ways. So yeah, and of course the second ban from Team John Feng is Kalia, which is such an annoying roamer to be honest. Um, and we have Hilda right now. Hilda, actually, I've been playing Hilda lately a lot. After the buff, she's kind of overpowered. Such a great roamer, can actually take a lot of damage and do damage as well in return. So that's a great ban, and we have Brock as well. So as we can see, actually, right now from the bans, that most of the bans that are happening are actually crowd control heroes, more than anything else. So they are focusing on one-on-one situations in that case. They're trying to avoid all the crowd control fights.
Because crowd control will be like little bit annoying like during the game because they have crowd control, they have wave clear, so it's little bit they need to eliminate it and they need to focus on one thing.
That is very true. That is very true. And the third ban from Team Vamos, as we say, is Fanny. Of course, everyone knows Fanny, and everyone knows how annoying Fanny is if someone's actually good at playing this hero. So from the first pick from Team John Feng, we have Lancelot, who is the jungler. Such a expected pick to be honest.
As a Lancelot fan, it will be first pick. Like he's not caring about anyone.
Yeah. But see,
Labo Labo.
Lapu Lapu and Yisun Shin, which is actually
Predictable.
Yeah, it's very predictable. It's very meta right now. Yisun Shin is such a great jungler right now, and we have Yuzong. Oh my God, this is going to be. It seems like this is going to be a very interesting match from the first four picks, as I can see. They're going head to head, no mercy. Yuzong is such a great hero, XP laner. Dishes a lot of damage, has very high crowd control as well. So yeah, we're expecting a lot. So we're right now, Lapu Lapu is facing Yuzong, so this is going to be exciting.
But for VMS, they secured for the two picks. Like the first two picks, it's very perfect for them.
Yeah, and actually for John Feng as well, by the way. So the first two picks are very great. We have Harith. I believe Harith might be a mid laner or might be actually and Mark's a gold laner as well. So we've seen Harith actually do gold lane a lot lately, which is going to be a problem for Team Vamos because his mobility is very high and his budget is very high. So Harith is such a great pick.
Look, for the first phase of the ban and picks, it's very equal for both of teams, and like I'm expecting new things for the phase 2 for the ban and picks because that will matter a lot for both of teams. Also, we will see Farsa as VMS, like they have Labo Labo, Yusin Shin, and Farsa. That's very great phase 1 picks for them, and also for the bans for them. So VMS having little bit advantage on the picks and bans on the paper.
Yes, that is very true. But as I can see, both teams are actually going, full on damage. Actually, full on damage. They are not focusing on sustainability.
No tanks,
no tanks, no whatsoever. But actually, I believe we're gonna start seeing tanks right now, as it shows.
Maybe we'll see Tigreal because he got buff
Yeah, that is
on the
very
last
true.
patch. So maybe we'll see it, or we will see it as a ban.
All right, so we're expecting. So Zushin is actually banned as well. They are trying to minimize the mage picks Team Zhongfeng, and Ruby is a great band because she's such a crowd controller as well. She can be played as a roamer. So yeah, Zhongfeng knows what they're doing actually.
See how many crowd controllers they eliminate.
Yeah,
They
a lot,
ban.
a lot. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, and six actually. Actually, and Zushin also is a crowd controller. You know, is a
But they
great
maybe they
associate.
miss it, or like maybe we can play around it, no problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Since we're talking about the bans, are we seeing respect bans here or target bans?
No, as I can see, I'm seeing
It's
target bands actually.
it's
Yeah, I'm seeing target
Yeah.
bands. They know each team knows, you know, they know each
Where
other
they're
very well.
banned.
Yeah, yeah, who they're banging. So yeah, we see Kimi as a ban as well. So Team Vamos's bans are actually on point, and they know what Team Zhongfeng is trying to do over here. So they're trying to minimize their picks as much as possible.
also
You
for
know,
the picks they are choosing the meta picks, like the usable picks, like we see it like every tournament.
Yeah.
Because like Yusin Shen, Labu Labu, Varsa as the like for the right side and left side of Esmeralda also for the band, so it's target bands.
yeah, their target bans. They're actually eliminating crowd control as much as possible. So yeah, this is going to be very exciting. This is such an exciting match from the picks itself. And usually I do predict, you know, who's going to win from the picks, but it seems like this time, no, I'm finding it very hard to actually choose, you know, or to say who's going to win actually, you know. So we need to wait for their last four picks, and then, you know, we will talk about it, me and you.
I thought it would like it was going for one sided, but after the picks and ban for now on, it's a little bit equal, and maybe we'll see like maybe third game or one of one. Then we will see for the third game, because it's hard to see like two sided from the first game.
Yeah, yeah, that is very true.
But
True,
does
such a great
this
thing.
draft lean more towards early aggression or late game scaling?
It actually kind of shows that actually both of them are going to try to go for the early game, but they're also trying to sustain that if in case they reach the late game, how is it going to be? Right now, late game, I would say it's more Zhongfeng, you know, more Zhongfeng than actually Team Vamos. But early game, it's more Team Vamos than Zhongfeng, right until now.
For Team VMS, if they took the snowball for the first and Labu Labu and New section was they having the like advantage and they took all the objectives. For VMS, they focus on the objectives on turtle and lords. They will like it will be hard for DFYG to win.
Yes,
But
yeah,
for the other hand, if they focus on towers and minions and like having snowballs for the XP, it will be better for them.
yeah, that is very true. And the last two picks from Zhongfeng, we had Valentina, and from Team Vamos, we have Cici. So this is going to be such an exciting game, you know. Wow, I'm actually very, very excited to see what's going to happen over here, you know. And actually, as I can see, both of them did not actually choose a marksman for this game. Like the marksman, Yi Sun Chin, is actually a jungler, but in the gold lane, none of them actually chose a marksman. So, yeah, we're very excited to see what will happen this match. This is going to be very, very, very exciting. Wow.
But if this goes late, which draft scales better on a late game basis?
Team VMS.
Actually, yeah. Late game, I believe it's John Feng, to be honest. See, but although you are with John Feng, I'm telling you,
But-
late game, this is
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I'm very fair person, so VMS they have like the ball to win.
Let's see, let's see, let's see. All right, we have a pause.
But see, group, the, the first game of the day, and we are seeing this draft.
Hmm.
In the upcoming games, we will see totally unpredictable drafts, and new things, new strategies, because the meta is changing by the day.
That is very true. But I believe, you know, it's better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would actually. Some teams would like to take the risk. To be honest with you, I can see that some teams would like to take the risk. But most of the games you're going to be seeing the kind of, you know, slight changes in the meta. You know, small changes, not huge changes. They would actually play with the same heroes because these are the meta heroes right now. You know, but the thing is, it's not only about the meta; it's about how to counter the meta. You know, and most of the players, you know, casual players, I would say, they have a hard time countering the meta. they would just go for the meta. But these teams right now, those pros, in the stage right now, they know the meta, they know how to counter it, they know each and every detail, So yeah, it is more fun to watch actually these teams, learn from them, learn from what they're doing and so on. So yeah, this is mostly why I'm here actually, analyzing and actually watching and learning what they're doing.
But you are talking about risk. You need to be a little wisdom. High risk, high rewards.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
keep it.
Definitely. I'm a risk taker, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I love going off meta all the time. So yeah, we're waiting for the teams to begin.
So in this opening minutes, what should we be watching out for?
In the
Opening minutes.
opening minutes, we're gonna see they're trying to test the waters. Both teams will try to test the waters. See how things go. Who is actually are they trying to finish it early game or not? So they can actually choose to strategize whether to try to push it to late game or not. So yeah, this is what in the first minutes what we're gonna see. Or actually one of the teams would actually try to dominate immediately and show the other team that we're not here to mess around, we're here to win. So yeah,
For the first 3 minutes, it will be testing the waters for both teams.
Yeah.
And we will see others.
But in this first minutes, which lane matchup matters the most?
mid lane
For the mid lane and
For
from
mid lane.
jungle.
mid lane and jungle right now are the most important actually lanes right now to focus on.
GG.
All right, here we go. The first match of the knockout by versus Team Bamas. Your casters with Wolf and Nicely.
Yes, sir.
Man, this is going to be an interesting match because Super Kid is back on his Lancelot. This guy made waves yesterday.
Hey, man, we've had a couple days of some groups. We've had some interesting matches. I think even for the performance we heard about, I mean, we didn't get to cast it because we were on the other stream. But DFYG, I think surprised a lot of people. They had a great game, especially against Onyx. I think, they had maybe that was the longest game, man. That was 31 minutes. I think they had. By the way, they had the Barretts, Wolf. I was asking for it all day on stream A, man, 2 days in a row, and it was actually on stream B that goes in the hands of Kyrie.
Yeah, it's just very funny. And just for context, guys, we were seeing on a different stream, and Nice was just asking for the Barretts constantly all throughout. And I think that it would have been very surprising for you to watch a 30-minute Barretts game, but that wasn't the case. However, we have to focus on what we are seeing right now. I think DFYG have found a great awakening with Super Ken just being so comfortable in this kind of meta game where there is a lot of assassins that could be available, particularly his assassin Lancelot. So now, Treasure Fight's about to commence.
All right, turtle fight for the taking. Super Ken start doing his thing here. Dangerous Grass, once again, part of this play into the objective. He's going to use that Phantom Execution. He'll secure it. Super Ken getting the turtle. Not sure if they actually want to fight this. Another airstrike drop down too. A little bit of knock into the air. Zorn quite low. That shot has been so close, man. Being able to help out the damage there, but no one falling. Not sure if Yone wants to actually potentially pressure that purple buff, but it looks like he's not going to. So good little take there. An advantage, at least for the turtle, for DFYG.
This movement around with Super Ken to invade and actually poke and actually force the vengeance onto Natko. Long might be in range for get a kill, and indeed they will. What a rotation for DFYG.
Yep, there's a kick as well coming through. Zed going to be the one to go down. It's a nice little trade cross map. Couple kills in the mid for that top Long. Mr. Long, man, he's been part of this competitive scene now for a long time. He's getting a good look here. Maybe we get to see his Moskov too. Right? I feel like that's his signature hero, the Moskov for Long. But he's got the Harith. And, we talked about how the recent patch just a couple days ago changed a lot of potential what could happen, in some of the lanes of some of the heroes. We got to see glimpses of it. The Tigreal yesterday, for example, I hope we get to actually see that pop up one more time. But so far, I think for Long, you just want to go ahead and get that power spike as fast as you can on a Harith who technically had a bit of a nerf. But warranted. I feel like I've had my fill of Granger Harris, man. I think we've had that for the better part of this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. However, it seems like the FYG will still play this Harith. It's a strong lane. I would say Team Vamos will have a lot of answers to this Harith. They already have CC, and it looks like there will be a cash in the bottom lane. Oh,
Right.
pick one of that. But anyways, nice. A kill on 2 Bell is important for Team Vamos because the turtle is going to spawn. That's the second turtle of the game. And Team Vamos have already accumulated 3 kills. This progression that they are showing to us prompted the FYG to just give up the second turtle. And that will mean that they will be recovering when it comes to the overall gold.
Yeah, part of this too for Team Vamos, right? A team that likes to play a little bit around the meta, with some signature picks, like we saw, for example, Zorn with the Hellcurt earlier on yesterday. And, the way that they play this kind of lineup, it's a little more traditional, right? It's kind of just going through the reps. They've gone through these reps many times. Zorn doing his thing here on the Cho. We've seen the Cho actually be quite deadly so far in Games of the Future for MLBB. Just in a couple days, at least over even on Stream A, we saw it pop up in almost every series. And the specialist Cho players out there like Zorn are able to do such a good job at setting things up for the team. And that's why Team Vamos, they've slowly built into the lead that they have right now. It's nothing massive, right? It's literally 100 gold, but the way they're moving around the map is that advantage, which is around Zorn. And not only that, but the advantage is also the fact that you have your early kind of boost on Farsa for Clockroon, man. This Feathered Airstrike is going to hurt. And there's the kick that I was talking about. Even with a Revitalize, he's going to be bursted down, and that's what I'm talking about with this Farsa. It's easy. It's you just kick, you drop down the Feathered Airstrike, and it's literally a kill.
Yeah. And to add to that, Zorn has been so phenomenal with the Cho for a very long time now. One of the specialists, as you have mentioned earlier today. And that's interesting. The Valentina had to copy the ultimate of the Decent Chain to provide vision, but also to get out. Lapu outplaying Bell once again. It's the second death onto Bell very early into this game.
Big pickup there. Fight up here on the top side. Pakun is going to try to flicker away. He does get away too. Oh, with 1 HP. Some way, somehow able to survive. Still in the mid lane. A fight breaks out as well. So despite all that, no one actually going down. I'm surprised Pakun held on to that flicker for the longest time until he eventually burned it. This turtle is up. It's for the taking. DFYG's in position. For Ken just around the corner too, alongside Arrow 404 for Team Vamos. Not sure if they have the space to work with, and Arrow 404 is a little bit too low, so they just have to give up that last turtle for DFYG. And Zed will go ahead and just jump on out. So I'm not sure if they're going to actually go for a play. Zorn, every time that flicker is up, you never know. It looks like they're going to try to spot this out. Zed's not sure if he should leave either. He's like, are you guys going to be okay here under the turret? They jump in. Thorn Rose going to be used. Nice use of the puncture too. So they keep it from breaking out into a fight under the bottom tier 1 turret.
Good job, Zed, for staying in that area. Would have been very explosive for Team Vamos to have 4 versus 2 out there. Zed just canceling the recall at the right moment. What's really scary about the patch is that, well, for that, there's going to be a pick. And for sure, even through the Revitalize, that guy is dead. No ultimate onto the Gatokacha means that there's no defensive AOG that's going to happen. What I'm saying earlier today, is what's interesting about the patch is that even when you lead by a lot of gold and you are winning when it comes to momentum, the moment that you just slip and not have a proper positioning on the neutral objectives, a team that is behind can actually take that neutral objective away from you. That's exactly what happened out there.
Yeah.
The Yi Sun-shin was just a little bit mispositioned, and that allowed Vel to gain enough momentum to pop the ultimate and also DFYG to get that third turtle. And now the game is even.
Yeah, the game's even here at this point. Again, economically, they're doing a good job at maintaining things under control for DFYG, but I still got to say, it's what I mentioned earlier with Team Vamos, it's the way they're moving around the map. They have like control to go ahead and go for these fights despite the economic balance here between both teams, right? They built up a lead, but DFYG just really doesn't seem to be able to find a fight because of this. It's always the Gatokacha that's going to be focused by the kick. Zed this time around will actually survive. Doesn't pull the trigger on the Revitalize either, but he's going to get stunned now. Super Ken trying to get out. A feathered airstrike. Drop down. Popping the Revitalize this time. A couple shots. He's going to AOG defensively. But this is a clear sign now. Team Vamos can make their way for this Lord take. Fell's here. Yone has his own kick. Stolen from Zorn. They'll take him down low, and I'm not sure actually if Team Vamos can secure this as easily as they hoped.
So, Lord, and this is the dangerous grass. You also have to take care of that. Take note of that. And that also will mean that there is this little advantage that Arrow 404 has over the FYG, which is the information that you get out of the Mountain Chakra. However, you still have to think about this Lancelot with the Thorn Rose and the Retribution play. And Super Ken was just so on fire with this Lancelot. This was a first pick Lancelot for the FYG. You cannot blame them. Super Ken has been phenomenal the past few days with this Lancelot. So, gotta be mindful of that if you're Team Vamos.
See how they handle this. Cisco gonna jump in again, using that Bravest Fighter, but they just call it off. Disengage from that Lord take mid lane. Take a little focus here. Those tier ones being up in the mid lane still really help keep things kind of under control and makes this space that they're fighting for a little bit tougher to deal with. Again, it's dangerous grass as well, so one of the teams have been playing around this bottom of bush if they can. There's a kick from Yone, taking the medicine to Zorn. Taking a taste of his own medicine. Revitalize is going to be popped. The feathered airstrike a little bit out of range to deal with this team fight. Down one member. Team Vamos doesn't want to let up. They're not going to give an angle for DFYG to take this Lord freely, as they're still pretty healthy here, and they're still in good form to contest this or delay it until Zorn's back up here in a couple of seconds. Bell will be spotted out of that brush. Super Ken's going to go ahead and start this up under half health right now. Arrow 404 making his way, but Yone is there to block him out and zone him out with Black Dragon form. So Super Ken will be able to get the Lord. A feathered airstrike drop down, and Arrow 404 can't get away from the Shy Essences with a flicker forward from Siska to clean it up. The 2-for-1 trade, but the Lord going to the hands of DFYG.
Wow. That was actually a good start for DFYG, the way that they set up the trap for Zorn, because they know that eventually Zorn will look for an opening. But DFYG were ready. It kind of felt like it was already a winning team fight for DFYG. They did win on the Lord, but they've lost 2 of their members afterwards. The biggest trade, however, is the kill onto Air 404. So it would have been disastrous for DFYG to lose 2 of their heroes after the first Lord. However, they took out an important piece of the puzzle for Team Vamos, which was Air 404. Now they can collect more real estate around the map. Fortunately for Team Vamos, they have stellar defense because of this Farsa, and they will be able to defend. The best that DFYG could hope for might be to take out maybe all of the turrets in the bottom lane and maybe a mid lane turret.
See if they can, man. It's I've been saying that off that Lord. They really don't get too much, you know. Even Team Vamos still holding on to that tier 1 in the mid lane. So not a huge value on that Lord take, basically. You know, but they do kind of shift things a little bit in their favor if you consider, you know, taking care of that gold lead that they had. Super Ken's trying to get away here. He's feathered airstrike. He's going to bob and weave through out of it. He's going to be fine, though. Again, the mobility with that Lancelot. Meanwhile, up top, Arrow 404, bobbing and weaving himself. The jungler is making a move and a groove. There's a kick, though, on Vel. Vel trying to heal back up. Will be able to take a shot. Zorn, though, can't clean it up unless Siska can. Siska jumping in with the Bravest Fighter. He comes on through to slay down Vel. Good pickup there in a response up on the top side.
Yeah. Constellation Price, a tier 2 turret up top, which gives them a lot of value, obviously, but at the expense of the 4th death and a Petrify onto this Yu Zhong. Fortunately for them, they will have the Petrify as well as the Ultimate onto Yu Zhong come the next Lord fight, but DFYG cannot afford those kind of mistakes. In fact, Team Vamos will be quick to punish as they have already set up shop up top. They have taken out the first turret, and then they're poised to take the second one. Zorn, even without any threat, have already planted himself out there to counter any kind of retaliation coming up from DFYG. Great movements from Team Vamos. And because of that, they have regained control of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Natko wants to force a fight here. Another feathered airstrike drop down, but not going to be able to kill Zed now. A little bit more tanky this portion of the game here for Zed. He's dealt with such a rough early game. You know, the constant kicks from Zorn being kicked into a feathered airstrike. But now that he's got some of those defensive items, he's able to go ahead and hold on a little bit longer. And that's going to be so crucial with the Gata Contra. You know, you need to be able to go ahead and use that Avatar of the Guardian. If not that, then at least provide that vision and even just catch someone with the Unbreakable. And again, for our viewers out there that, you know, might not be aware, that patch that dropped a couple days ago, the Gata Contra now has to charge his Unbreakable a little bit longer to get the max taunt and the max range on it. Gone are the days of just tapping, you know, the skill too, that Unbreakable to be able to have that max range and taunt effect.
It'll be a longer team fight in the Lord. The slow push being set up top. I feel like Team Vamos are going to have a better long lane control here. But the dangerous grass, Bell is already positioned in that spot.
A kick again, taking out Siska. That's a huge pick off from Yone. Now fighting for the Lord. It's at a quarter of the health. They're still going to deal with Veldo in the dragon form, but Super Ken will secure the Lord. And now Zorn trying to get away. He's got the Shaw since it's stacked up on him. As Vel takes another 2 down for Team Vamos, and TFYG will massively swing this game in their favor now as they get the Lord and they get ready to knock down some more turrets here. That tier 2 bottom side will fall. And we'll see if Team Vamos can get this base defense under control with this Lord pushing in up top.
Great timing and great execution coming out from DFYG. It's not easy to outplay or to surprise a Yi Chin because of the Mountain Shocker, but the timing coming out from DFYG and the fact that they have taken advantage of the dangerous Super Ken with a solo kill. Oh my goodness. Man,
hey man, Super Ken will take it.
To be banned, man.
Ban the Lancelot. Ban Super Ken. What a play. That's how confident he is right now with Arrow 404 being down. Look at him. He's going to jump into the base. Thorn Row is going to be used. Puncturing on through. Working with this Lord here. They potentially could end it. Going for it. Zorn trying to delay the inevitable here. Diamond Force going to be dropped down. And Long will unleash here on Siska. Feathered Airstrike to try to clear out this Lord to pump out enough damage. But even Napko can't get away from Yone. And now the base is going to be worked on. It's hold at half health. But with 2 members left alive from Team Vamos, it won't be enough for game 1 as DFYG is victorious.
It's a tug of war that DFYG were able to win and outlast Team Vamos because of good execution, good usage of the map as well. The dangerous guys worked in their favor because of Bell's positioning. Never mind how many deaths he got only in the early stages of the game. As long as you nail that ultimate and crucial Lord takes, you're going to have fun. And we can see some of the highlights that we've seen today. Of course, accented by Super Ken's stellar performance on this Lancelot.
Yeah, the Lancelot, I don't know. Maybe that's the answer. We'll ban out the Lancelot. But let's see what the studio has to say. Let's go ahead and throw it over them to break down game 1.
That wraps up game 1 of the series. We just finished game 1 of the series here at Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. It's a strong opening exchange from both sides, and we are already seeing how this series might shade up. Let us start, Board. What was your biggest takeaway from game 1?
All right, game 1, you know, as expected, I knew that if this game would actually, if it went on late game, then John Frank would have the upper hand, you know, so that's what GG's, of course, Soldier. You chose John Krang, and yeah, as expected, you know, Team Vamos was actually trying to be in control most of the game. They tried to push it to the early game, but Team John Krang knew that you know, they had to actually try to take it to the late game, and this is where they had the upper hand. So congratulations to Team John Krang on the first win.
Looking at the statistics, what can we say about this?
To be honest, DFYG, they like totally have playing on the snowball, and they win in the first like minutes, and they have snowballs on the towers, minions and waves, and have focused on their things, and they got the win, and they deserve it.
Yes, basically, yeah, they were focused on the objectives mostly than anything else. As you can see from the stats over here, you know, the total gold for the
Total
FYG
difference.
was, yeah, it was a huge difference. The towers destroyed 7-3, Lord slain, 2 Lord slain. Actually, the first Lord fight was quite interesting because it seemed like VMS was actually going to take the first Lord, but Lancelot from Team DFYG actually stole the Lord, which was quite exciting, although it was a 2-1 kill for VMS. The Turtles lane also, there was a challenge, there was competition on that, who won. And the buffs, of course, the purple orange buffs. The FYG was basically in control of the entire match. But the kills went to BMS, but the FYG knew what they were doing. They were objective focused. They were moving in synergy with each other, most than BMS actually.
But where do you think the momentum really starts to shift?
From the 8th minute onwards, it showed that actually the FYD started showing their their claws basically, and there this is where actually the turn happened in the game basically. Yeah.
When the snowball happens and the Lord stall, then the shifting of the game starts for the FYG.
Yeah.
They have the upper hand and they know how to deal with it.
Exactly.
How important do you think is this game one in a best of three?
It showed both teams what they're signing up for. It showed them that the enemy team is actually focused on one thing. It showed that both teams are actually, trying to get the win, and they're very professional at what they do. And moving on from to the next match, I believe the strategies will change for both teams. Yeah, it will totally change. We might actually see Team DFYG trying to pursue the early game, and Team Vamos actually trying to get to the late game. This is what I'm expecting for the next match to happen. Actually,
Soldier, do you think this is more about preparation or execution?
To be honest, for the first game it was executions more than preparations. But now for the two teams, VMS have one mistakes or one chance to win and they get back to be a 1-1 equals. But for the FYG now they have relaxed a little bit because they have upper hand and they have one chance, like no problem to have a mistake, or we have testing limits now. They have they can rest. But for the VMS now, how they have the extra or the double stress.
yeah, that is very true. But I don't think the FYG is going to take that risk. To be honest with you, I think they're gonna still try to aim for the win, basically, because they don't want to take any more risks. Because if they lose the second match, they might actually lose the third. So this is actually going to be stressful for them as well. So I think they will actually go for the win for the second match.
You were talking about the draft earlier. Do you think there will be big draft changes in game two?
Unlikely to happen. I would actually love for a big draft change to happen, to be honest with you, but it's unlikely to happen. I believe there might be slight chances, changes, small changes in the draft, but not major ones.
Maybe for the FYG, maybe they will continue on the same draft, but VMS they will little bit changing like by 50% because they know their mistakes and they know like we cannot pick at the same picks and the same game style and we will lose like because you are repeating the same thing.
That is
Maybe they
very
will
true.
change the cards, they will change like maybe they have the pocket picks, they have the snowball picks, we don't know behind the scenes. So everything it's cooking in silence.
Yes. Actually, we're let's see what's going to happen on the second match. Very excited to see.
Earlier, we were talking about the draft. You were voting for
For the
John
FYG,
Funk, right?
yeah.
And you were voting for Team Vamos.
Yes.
So was what you expected or not really?
For Team Vamos, actually, from the pick and the ban, I was expecting John Feng to win. To be honest, unless Team Vamos would actually try to see the game early. But watching the game, I knew what's gonna happen. I knew that this was gonna end not well for Team Vamos. The longer the game stayed, I was like, oh my god, okay, this is gonna happen. Soldier is gonna win. Lunch is gonna be on me this time. So
But
And
still
don't
you
forget
have one
about
chance.
me.
yeah, of course, you're a win-win situation, anyways, right? So yeah, so as we can see here, Super Ken actually got 3 kills, 0 deaths, and 5 assists. So Super Ken, we want to say he is the MVP of today's match.
It was a quick match and quick MVP.
Yeah.
And still maybe if he can continue on the same MVP and for the next match.
Let's see. All right. So we are going to have I think we have around a couple of minutes before the second match will start. The teams right now are resting. They're relaxing right now, prepping for the second match. Team Vamos is in stress right now, trying to figure out what they will do actually for the next match.
This is the best moment and the best like the total important minutes of the total of the games because you will reset your minds, reset your brain cells, and you will like it will focus on one thing. Focus on like the mistakes we have done, and focus on the advantage we can take for Team VMS and DFYG. How to get better and better and the best of the best. So they will continue on the same rhythm, same chemistry, same synergy. They need to continue because if they didn't continue, VMS they would take the advantage from them.
Definitely, 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 yes. And we want to also see from the people watching on our social media channels, who do you think is going to win in the second match? Is it going to be DFYG, and they will seal the win and guarantee their qualification to the finals, or will Team Vamos have something else to say?
Do you think it will be more lane focused or rotation based?
Actually, I believe it's going to be rotation based mostly than lane focused. Because as we saw from the first match, they were trying to go back and forth on all lanes, trying to push. Mid lane had the most clashes actually. Both of the teams were actually trying to hold on to their mid lanes as much as they could until the Lord was stolen from Lancelot from Team DFYG. This is where things are starting to change a little bit. Team Vamos started losing ground, losing most of their grounds, and it made it easier for Team DFYG to move around in the map more freely, with more freedom and more confidence, actually. And I believe Team DFYG in the next match, they're going to be, they're going to be very confident, but not to the point that they reach this overconfidence of that they might lose actually, because overconfidence might actually make you make mistakes, in the end. So I think they're going to be very focused. I think they know what they want to do. They know that they want to win. They know that they want to reach the finals and meet all the strong teams waiting for them in the finals, like RQ Hoshi, like Aurora, like Rhoda, and also Onyx. Yeah, so they want to get there.
As we said, if you focus on the mid lane and the rumors, like the jungle side, you will like easily like you have the freely to move in the map, and you have the advantage to help the other lanes to like to have freely also. You can open the map for you more and more, and you can reach like you have more advantage to have a view in the map. You have rotations in the map, and you can do a traps for the other team,
Yes,
and they can follow.
yes, yes. That is very true. I'm still rooting for Vamos. I really want Vamos to win. All right, and and I know they're very good players. I know they did a great job. They did a great job. Vamos did a wonderful job, but they need to focus more on objective more than anything else.
That was a great analysis. So we'll take a short break, and when we return, more action from Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025.
Abu Dhabi and UAE at the moment seems to be the epicenter of autonomous robotics and many other activities.
We're back into the band phase now, and this is where preparation and adaptation really come into play. So, what story do you think these first bands tell us?
The first bounce from the first match, it was very, or focus oriented, and yeah, let's see the bands this time. How is it going to be? As the first band is actually an immediate ban.
Mhm.
It seems like Vamos is scared of Fanny, and they know that someone from DFYG is actually a Fanny Pro, so that no kidding, first ban immediately. And of course, the second ban from the team DFYG is Basha. So Basha is such an
Fani
annoying,
and Pasha.
yeah,
And
Fanny and Basha.
VMS now they have the blue side and they have the priority picks like first pick and first ban.
Yes,
So we will see a little bit priorities for them because little bit advantage for them as a blue side. But the FYG they have red side and they have like one game they win, but still we will see in the papers what will have in the ban and picks during the game. The first two bans it little bit appears, but now wow for the VMS they
You think these bands reacting to game one or just the overall meta?
it actually looks like the overall meta because it seems like the bans are actually the same. Until now, they're the same as game number one. No difference at all. Fanny, Hilda, Kalea, and Basha. So yeah, we're actually seeing the same bans. They're not taking any risks until now. There might actually think of something else in their bans. We're gonna see from Team BMS right now. Who are they going to ban? Is it going to be one of the meta heroes, or is it going to be someone else who was actually an annoying factor in the first game?
Do you expect these bands to stay consistent across the series?
because now the meta it's all the teams is playing around the meta for the ban and picks and also during the game the strategies they're focusing in mid lane and roamers and also for the teams in the group stage or also in the now in the playoffs they're also focusing on the meta side because now the patch is happening also the buffs and nerfs happens and it affecting also the tournament and we will see also like ban and picks for them and there is a target ban as we see in the first phase as we see in the first match.
Yes, and as we saw right now, actually the third ban from Team Vamos is actually Eve as well, which confirms our theory that actually, yeah, they're just going for the bans, they're just going for the meta bans, they're not taking any risks whatsoever. Although we as audience would love to see risks, we would love to see all the meta heroes, clashing. But that's not going to happen since Grok also got banned. First pick, Lancelot. That's what,
DMS.
yeah, that's what actually Team Zhangfeng did in the first game. So EMS was like, okay, this time we're taking Lancelot, and
They changed
yeah, they changed.
Labu
their-
Labu
yeah,
for
Lapu Lapu.
them.
They're changing roles right now, as I can see.
We see who is playing Labu Labu better.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they're actually challenging each other right now. They're saying, okay, you played Lapu Lapu the first game, you didn't win. We will show you how to play with Lapu Lapu this game.
And I will take your Lancelot.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see. And of course, the second pick for Team DFYG is Harith, which is who's actually going to be taking care of the gold lane. All right, Team Vamos is actually taking Esmeralda this time. All right, since he was banned the last game, so they were like, no, we're gonna take her immediately. We're not gonna wait for the second ban phase to start. We don't want to take the risk. And let's see, Esmeralda on the ground. What is she going to do this game? And of course, Farsa is also going to be one of the picks for Team Vamos.
For the first phase of the ban and picks, it shows like there is a lot of picks for them, and they took Harith, Labu Labu for VMS, also for VMS. They are taking Farsa, Esmeralda, and Lancelot. It's totally interesting picks. Crook and they're banning Ruby as the first game.
Yes, they just banned Ruby just like the first game, but there is a new pick that we are seeing right now from Team DFYG, which is Hayabusa. Hayabusa is such a great hero, such a such a hero with a extremely high mobility and can actually join the fight and leave the fight in a glimpse. So we're excited to see Hayabusa this game.
And who's playing with Hayabusa? It's like the playstyle of Hayabusa. It's totally hard.
The
And you
place.
need to play.
Yeah.
You need to have a movement, faster movement.
Yes, exactly. You need to have super fast fingers in order to play with Hayabusa because one small delay, it's over for you. So that's why Hayabusa is for actually pro players and such a great hero to play with. Now the fourth ban for Team Vamos is actually Kacha, who is such a great roamer. He has very high crowd control, very high taunting as well when it comes to fights. So and can dish out actually very high damage in some cases. So yeah, Kacha is actually an expected ban as well. We are waiting for the last ban from Team DFYG. And who do you expect the ban is going to be?
Maybe Tigreal.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to be too real. Might be, but
Maybe.
from the picks, Yuzong. All right.
Oh, makes sense.
All right. So Yuzong is a ban. Yuzong was very annoying the previous game. They don't want Team Vamos to actually take the advantage of playing with Yuzong this game. As we can see from Team Vamos, they already settled the jungler, the mid laner, and the XP laner. Although Esmeralda can be played as a roamer as well in some cases. So we are still trying to figure out if Esmeralda is going to be an XP laner or a roamer. As for Team DFYG, their fourth pick is Chu. So Chu is most probably going to be a roamer in that case, since Lapu Lapu is there in Team DFYG, and he's most probably going to be an XP laner. All right. Oh wow. We are
PMS, they're
okay.
taking some new cards.
Yes. Novaria is such a great marksman actually in this meta, and Guinevere, who is a great crowd controller. So as we can see right now, Guinevere is going to be an XP laner, and Esmeralda is going to be a roamer. And
To
yeah,
be
this
honest,
is-
on the paper, Adham, it's totally like for the VMS because I like their picks, I like their bans. But DFYG, maybe they will surprise us in the game. Until now, we didn't see the Yusen Shin because we saw it in the first game and we saw it in the like maybe totally in the all the games in the group stages.
yes,
But until now, like for the picks for the DFYG, Harith, Labo Labo, Hayabusa, and Go
Chu,
Chu.
Yeah.
And for the last one, it's
Valentina.
now Valentina.
Yeah.
DFYG. They're trying to counter the counter picks and they're trying to take the priorities of the first game.
This is going to be a very hard game
Yeah, for
for both, mostly for VMS, since they have an actual marksman right now, and you have lots of counters for the marksman. We have Chu, we have Harith, and we have Hayabusa. So Novaria needs to be very, very, very well protected in order to be able to assist Team Vamos in the late game if they actually reach the late game. So yeah,
So drafts like this usually tell us how the games will be played. Are you still on your team?
yeah,
We're
definitely.
still in the same line
Okay.
because this we are predicting scenarios the same.
So okay, everything's locked and loaded. Let's throw it to the casters and get into the game.
Here we are, game number 2. Super Ken on this Hayabusa Air 404 on the Lancelot. We know that these two junglers from both teams are really good at assassin, and we're going to see another showdown. Wolf and Naisu, your casters for game number 2. I have a great feeling about this. It's Hayabusa versus the Lancelot, and Obsidia is in, man.
How do you, I was just gonna ask you, man. The Obsidia coming through, I think I was kind of surprised by that in the draft here. It's like I remember when Obsidia came out, everyone was like, you know, is she gonna be OP? Is she gonna do all this that we usually see? And hold on, Zed, whoa, getting a little overzealous. Arrow 404 will clean up a kill. Both junglers picking up their own, trading the roamers on both sides. So that's about as even as it gets, man. Both kills going to junglers, both roamers going down, right? But yeah, going back to my point, I feel like when Obsidia came out, a lot of people were wondering just how she would be utilized in that current meta. And I feel like teams, it took them a while to figure it out. Not that many teams, though, even globally, use the Obsidia too much. Like, it was very specific teams or players that like to go ahead and play that. And I know she didn't get any changes, right? In the patch, like she was untouched. So
Yes.
I just feel like Obsidia as a whole is kind of like in this neutral ground. Like she can be good if she's able to scale up and get to the point where she needs to, or she does abysmal, you know? And that's not just
Yeah.
because she's from the void. Like she can do really, really poorly. So
Yeah.
that's something definitely you want to watch out for, how Nako plays this game here.
What I noticed is that in the past months, like the better half of the season, especially when Obsidia was introduced, it was the Granger Harith show, basically.
I think
There
it still
wasn't any
is a
other
bit.
option. It is. And the reason why that's the case is because you want to be strong in the early stages.
On the early stages here, Arrow 404 will be able to claim that first turtle. Is Vel going to push this for Zorn? Okay, he does it, but now Vel might actually get punished himself as he does. A little overextension there. DFYG, but they trade it. Trading that turtle, going in the hands of Team Vamos. So a kill plus an objective. And yes, as you were saying, Wolf.
Yeah, I think the reason why people are not, I mean, at least from our region in Southeast Asia, and particularly in the Philippines, why there hasn't been much Obsidia is because why would you go for an unsafe pick when you can just pick up Granger and Harith, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, because there are so many good assassins in the hero pool that we have, it's difficult to pull up a traditional marksman.
Or is Zorn going to be able to get away from this? Oh, no.
Oh my
Super Ken
goodness.
goes back with a
Super
shadow,
Ken.
but he does get punished himself. And now Zed might be Nick next. Uses the kick, though, just barely surviving. Good play there by Zed to stay alive. And this is Vel claiming a lot of extra gold up here on that gold turret. Gold plating up here up top.
Oh. I wonder, like, for Team Vamos, what we do know is they have this Lancelot, I mean, the Guinevere with the Farsa, which is such a great combo. If they continue on pressuring DFY3 and just punishing Vel, for example, the Lapu-Lapu, this will be a really good game for them because right now they're even oppressing this gold lane. If they still get this other turn, the shields, it will be massive, and I doubt the Harith will be enough to defend. Okay, they will not push through. That would have been a great way for them to kind of increase their gap, gold gap.
If they're able to increase a little bit further. Nice initiation, a forward play, and a recall from Zorn, too. After that, again, this Guinevere we have seen so much lately in the past couple days here, Wolf. Well, now it's in the hands of Zorn as a roam instead of in the jungle. So,
yeah,
great initiation. They're able to get this turtle as well. Clockhoon actually survives the shadow kill, so he's going to be fine. And now this is an aggression play from Arrow 404. Going to be going for Super Ken. Super Ken, will he be able to get away? That he does. Feathered airstrike drop down too. A little bit charged here with Falling Star Moon. They're going to go for Zed. Siska jumps in on the turret, but doesn't want to overcommit to this unless they juggle it around. A jump in from Zorn, and now Vel joining the fight a little bit late. Comes down with a land shaker. Popping off here, but not enough damage on this Lapu-Lapu just yet. But look at this. Siska comes in, staying around in the mid lane. Will finally have to flick around. There's the shadow kill. Clarkoon takes a couple of the hits himself. Keeps Siska alive, and now Super Ken could be in a bad position.
Man.
Team Vamos absolutely punishing DFYG.
Great synergy coming out from Team Vamos. You see how they get in and out of the fight there. It seems like it looks like a rally, actually, like a badminton or a ping pong rally or a tennis rally. We've seen from Team Vamos, they're just passing the ball around, and it looks very, very good. For example, when Clockon tried to evade the jump coming out from Vel, Siska did not overly commit onto the Lapu-Lapu and went for the Valentina instead, which gave them the kill, and they will get more even as Zed is getting outplayed across the map. Clockon and Zorn are just so good at making the plays happen for Team Vamos.
Good plays there. Again, very aggressive and decisive. And you know what this allows Notco to do on the Subsidia that needs that time to go ahead and scale up? Well, just, you know, have the time of your life. Notco, go ahead and farm up, get that scaling that you need, get the stacks that you need here on the Subsidia, and you're going to be all good. So DFYG really down behind now up to this point, you know, 6.5 minutes in almost. I don't think they're in a position to actually contest the turtle, so they kind of have to just kind of give that up here. Look at this positioning too from Team Vamos. They want to go ahead and challenge DFYG. There's the kick. The way the Dragon's going to be able to find Zorn. Zorn out of the picture. So DFYG will take that challenge. Oh, the damage from Arrow 404. Is he going to be able to get long? He does, using the puncture under the turret, but now Arrow 404 might get punished. He's got the moves, though. He's still alive, and Siska will take down Zed. It was so bad for DFYG to fight under that turret. Man, Super Ken style on the Hayabusa right now.
Yeah. Gonna be a lot of recovery from the FYG, but it's not gonna be enough. It seems like Team Vamos are just well coordinated. The way that they are managing their abilities and their spells, They didn't even have to use the flickers, but just the fact that Zorn's spacing was great is the way that he's finding the targets. Siska, not only is this Esmeralda a very good pick versus the Lapu-Lapu and the Harith, like it counters a lot from the FYG, but Siska's positioning and aggressiveness is just so much on point. He knows his limit and he knows the proper targets to go to. He doesn't need to be in front of the Lapu-Lapu all the time. He can even pressure the Valentina, as we've seen many times in this game. And now it has came to a point where Zorn is tanky enough to act like a pseudo Cho, or even a much tankier Cho in this game.
The tank Cho at this point, And I feel like that one saving grace here for DFYG might be that late game if they can somehow get there. Whether that's going to be Super Ken scaling up, but I don't feel like Arrow 404 is given him much of a chance, And Vel, I think he's going to do a better job at just choosing when to go in with the bravest fighter in a lot of these exchanges, and they need time for Long to build up. They're going to need actually quite a bit of time to catch up after this. Almost 6,000 gold behind. Here's a bit of the stacks too from Natko, and we haven't even seen that full potential just yet from the Subsidia, because it's definitely, you can definitely feel it towards the late game, but I don't know if DFYG is going to get there, man.
It's going to be up to how they funnel some of the resources onto Long, because they really need to activate this Harith. Not only that, you have to give farm to Super Ken as well, because he is that hero that can output the damage enough to take out this Esmeralda. Oh no.
That's Natko's time to shine. He pops out a ton of damage, and again, you really can't get away once you're tethered to that Obsidia. She's going to be dragged with you. So Team Vamos just taking more up to this point. Lord's going to be coming up here in a couple seconds. So now with Team Vamos healthily ahead of DFYG. Some big items being picked up here. They got complete control of this side of the jungle. Super Ken might not see his buff at all up to this point, as Lord is quickly dealt with by Arrow 404, securing that. See what happens. I don't know if DFYG even wants to get close to this. Yeah, they don't. It's taken, man. Everything right now is on Team Vamos. They're looking to end this game quickly if they can, potentially even on this first push with the Lord. We know it's still difficult to end a game with a first Lord push, but it's possible with this kind of lead, almost 8,000 gold ahead. Yeah. Oh, Zed's going to try to make a play, I think. He's charging up.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, the jump in. Zorn actually goes in. He already has the immortality, so he's actually going to be fine. They get the flicker down from Zed, so that is out of the picture as they have to defend here. That Holy Shield's going to pop down a bot. Mid-waves are going to be pushing in to take down this tier 2 turret in a second. Cocoon might drop this feathered airstrike once it's back online, just to go ahead and keep them in control. There's the punch in, a spatial migration, taking out Zed, knowing he doesn't have the flicker. Shadow Kill going to be used as Vel's trying to get back to the base, trying to disengage from this as Siska cuts them off. A tier 2 turret finally falling. And that's going to be the last shield that pops as well. DFYG in a tough position now up to this point.
Not even a tickle of damage for Siska from that Ogi Shadow Kill. And we talked about how this became that Zorn was able to reach a point where he acts like a pseudo tank with a Guinevere. That's exactly what happened. You saw that he jumped in front of 3 members of the FYG with the immortality untouched, like up to 60% HP, and the FYG felt like, okay, there's no point on trying to punch this Guinevere, let's just get out. That would have been a good play for DFYG, but Zorn had the luxury of checking the bushes, face checking the bushes even, because of how strong he is. This is immortality and a couple of casual items for the Guinevere. Silence rope for magic. You have the dreadnought armor, and then straight into the immortality. Belt of Ares obviously giving him HP. So this is an interesting.
It's an interesting. It's a
interesting
Zorn build,
item.
man.
It's a Zorn build, and
You know,
also he has more gold compared to the Farsa. I don't know how that happened.
yeah, I don't know. I think Zorn, part of his mission too is, just to jump in, get that focusing mark activated, and then, basically from there he leaves the rest of the team's hands, and that's how you want to play the Guinevere in the Rome. You're kind of just there to go set things up, spatial migration, and go for it. Zed's gonna get seen out of that bush. Yone, I'm not sure if that's the ultimate he's gonna want to hold on to. Yone taking a feathered airstrike to the face. He's gonna fall, just gone in an instant. There's the violent requiem too. Vel's trying to get away, but under the base they go. A defensive kick from Zed to keep Arrow 404 from possibly cleaning up a kill. A shadow kill is not going to do anything. Not a tickle at all, as you mentioned, Wolf. Base turret falls in the mid lane. And there you go. I'm not sure if they want to press for more with the Lord being up. Take the discipline round, go start this Lord for Team Vamos, 11,000 gold ahead.
The walk of shame coming out from Ewon. The Valentina popping the Purify, double dashing, but the Flicker and the feathered airstrike coming out from Clocken was just way too much on point, and Valentina could not survive that. Even the Shadow Kill tried to defend the mid lane with that. Super Ken just cannot output enough damage to even be a threat for Team Vamos. This is looking to be a one-sided affair. Esmeralda from Siska is a good pick that cannot escape the Obsidia now.
Yeah, solid choice here that they have right now. The Obsidia, this is definitely the time where she's online and ready to rock and roll. Nako having the stacks there as well. They're going to go for it. Yone in trouble, trying to get away and burst it down again. Vel trying to do his best with the Bravest Fighter. Goes in with a Landshaker Flicker combination, but it's just way too much as Natko has all the space in the world. And now fighting around this Lord. 3 members of the FYG trying to disengage here. Zed trying to buy some time with Jikando, but he's dealt with by Siska. He's going to have to heal back up. The Lord was cleared out, but the waves pushing in on every front as Team Vamos is looking to take it to game 3 in this elimination match. A feathered airstrike dropped down again from Clarkoon. Zed will go down and the jump in forward, but the base is going to be worked on and locked on forward. They're looking to end it here, but clearing out the waves, and Team Vamos will take game 2.
Sure, I'm very happy about that because of a one-sided game for Team Vamos. They started with the draft. This Esmeralda answered 3 of the heroes of the FYT, the Lapu-Lapu, Harris, as well as the Cho. Adding a little bit of flavor in there with the Guinevere pickup and become very aggressive with it. Team Vamos have made a lot of work with this Guinevere in combination with the Lancelot. The first, of course, Clock is very much on point. Wonderful game for Team Vamos, as this is an elimination match, and they will force a game number 3. Now, we're going to see them in the massive showdown. I would love to see another Assassin versus Assassin battle between Super Ken as well as Error 404. It may become game number 3, but we will have to wait a little longer as we are allowing the teams to prepare. Get back to the panel.
And just like that, we are tied 1-1 here at Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. 1 game each, momentum splits, and everything now comes down to a decisive game 3. Let's look at the big picture here. How do you sum up this series so far with it sitting at 1-1?
To be honest, for VMS, it was maybe first game, it was testing limits, testing the waters. They will see. Let's try this card. Maybe it will work. And maybe it didn't work, but in the game 2, they surprised us.
Yeah, actually, Team
Wow.
Vamos, the second game, they were dominating from the first minute of the game. Although their picks were actually, kind of not so meta, I would say. But they played amazing with these heroes. And EFYG actually made a lot of mistakes, I would say, in the second game. They had a strategy, but it didn't work out. They didn't focus on specific heroes. For example, like Novaria, they didn't actually take Novaria into consideration a lot. They should have focused on Novaria because Novaria in the late game, from mid to late game, would be very annoying for them. But Team Vamos was actually trying to push the FYG to the mid lane to forget about Novaria a little bit. So they forced them to forget about Novaria. Guinevere, on the other hand, was top notch. Guinevere was very annoying to Team DFYG. She did a great job. Um, so Zorn, I salute you for what you've done. To me, he is actually the MVP of the game. To myself, because he played the biggest part in actually making Team Vamos win this match.
Okay, looking at the statistics right now, did you expect the response we saw in game two?
We expect for VMS to lose this game and like it's have the
Yeah.
lower hand.
Yeah.
But in the paper it was like for TFYG, but in the game and the scenario it was totally different because Navari it was a cherry on top of the cake, and she surprised us, and also the game of the style it was totally different because how they snowball in the first how many minutes in the game, and also they continue the snowballs. They didn't like little bit behind. No, they continue on the snowball and the snowball, and it becomes bigger.
Yeah.
And Team DFYG they didn't like cannot resist this. How much strong it's the snowball.
Yeah, actually, Team VFYG did not expect this to happen.
Yeah.
We're talking about a huge difference in gold from the beginning of the game. No towers destroyed from VFYG, no lord slain, no turtle slain. So it was complete dominance for Team Vamos in this game. And Esmeralda also did a great job. So Error 404 is actually the MVP of this game, who played with Lancelot. He did a great job as well. But his team actually did a wonderful job. Farsa was doing great in this match. I think Tokon was playing with Farsa. Um, the team surprised me, to be honest. And if they play with the style for the next match, I think Vamos is actually going to take it, unless Team DFYG have something else to say.
The damage dealt from PMS it was totally insane.
Yeah.
Because the damage dealer it's from Falsa. We are seeing like the blinks she's having, the the, the snipers she's doing for the team, like totally the controls for the Hamab during the fight. It was totally perfect for him. So PMS carry.
Yeah,
Perfect for her.
They were amazing, actually.
But this is exactly what we want from the series, right?
Yeah. Although, by the way, if you noticed, actually, the most deal damage dealt was actually from a team member in Team DFYG, but the rest of the team had a hard time dishing out any damage. But when we're talking about the damage dealt from Team Vamos, it was actually spread out to 3 or 4 members of the team. So they were actually playing in synergy much more than Team DFYG. And also in playing in objectives, they were objective focused more on this game, more than the previous game for Team Vamos. So I salute them for this amazing game that we watched.
The chemistry they come up with this game it was totally like unpredictable. Because
Definitely.
I like the chemistry between them during the game, during the objectives taking more than the FYJ.
Yes.
But in terms of execution, who's been cleaner overall?
The PMS.
Oh, DMS, definitely. DMS did a great job this match. They executed each and every objective that they've done perfectly, to the point that they didn't give even a chance to Team DFYG to even take one tower, which is amazing.
But do you think that fights are being won through mechanics or coordination?
Mostly through coordination. Because one hand can clap in the end. You need both hands. So in that case, Team Vamos, they showed that they were actually very synergized with each other in this game. They knew what they were doing. It seemed like they knew what they were doing. They knew their objectives. They knew when to start the fight and when to back out. So Team Vamos actually stood out this match compared to the first one.
And the scenario of one-sided game, it was in my mind, and it happens during this game. No towers taking, no objective taking, and they have the full like
Yes,
total
so we can see
target on the
who's
game.
Yeah.
more disciplined among the two
Yeah.
regarding objectives.
Yes, yes. And Guinevere actually was taunting the FYG a lot in this game. I think he was trying to piss them off, and they might have actually, he might have got to their nerves, in this game. But I know Team DFYG is way more professional than, like they would actually not get like emotional throughout the game. So, but yeah, Guinevere was actually on point this match.
But do you think any player under pressure right now?
Of course, the whole team of DFYG.
Yeah.
Because now, not the whole team, because the two teams now only one mistake, like will get you down, or they will one objective that will make you up. So
Exactly,
it's 1-1,
exactly.
and now the winner will go to the next stage. So we will see more stress and more chemistry and more scenarios we will see in the next games and new hidden cards also.
Definitely, definitely.
You were talking earlier about MVP, so
Yeah.
meaning the most valuable player. But do you think this is a star player game or more like a team-driven game?
It is actually, I would say it's both. I would say it's both. But I would prefer like the MVP would be actually the team spirit and the team playing game more than actually the star of the game. But we do have a star for each and every game. The person with the most, effective play, throughout the game. So yeah, Error 404 with Lancelot, he actually did amazing, But I would say that he couldn't have done it without his team.
That's a great analysis, but we will be on break right now. Catch you after this. It will be the drafting. See you guys.
Abu Dhabi and UAE at the moment seems to be the epicenter of autonomous robotics and many other activities.
What's your command? Your team
Here we go, game three, the deciding game, and we're officially into the ban and pick stage. Everything we've seen so far comes down to these next few decisions. How much does the pressure change the ban phase in a deciding game?
A lot, actually, a lot, because the ban on the picks is actually takes around 70% of the game, basically. Soldier might, or do you agree with me on that?
Of course, 70%, as I said, and the 30% it's the scenarios in the game and the strategies. Because the only strategies that's happening during the game, that's the thing. And as we see in the two games in the back, we see a lot of strategies and a lot of switching and chemistries in the game. BMS surprised us with the chemistry between them and the collaborations happen. That's the thing they won. As we can see in the pick and bans at home, it's happening like the same picks and bans and the meta bans, also a little bit of the target bans
Yes.
between the two teams.
Yes. But as for the bans, as you can see right now, Soldier, Lancelot joined the ban list this
Finally.
time. Yeah, finally, because I think both teams, they realize that whoever picks Lancelot is most likely going to win. And now we're
Hilda.
seeing some actually heroes from the ban list joining the game this time. And the first pick from the FYG is Hilda. And oh my God, Hilda is going to be so annoying for VMS. I can tell from right now, I know how annoying Hilda can be, actually.
For the first pick, as Hilda, it will be annoying and it will be a little bit pain in the team.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So we're going to see right now from Team Vamos, what are they going to do regarding this Hilda pick? How are they going to try to counter it? How are they going to try to overcome this pick, which is not going to be easy? We are expecting a Yi Sun-Shin and a Yu Zong. So this is very exciting from Team Vamos. As I can say right now, from now, Soldier, I can say that this game is going to be on fire, actually.
Yusin Shen, we didn't see it in the second game, and we see it in the third game.
Yeah.
Because Yusin Shen, it's a mark in the team. Like it's adding an objective thing in the team who's picking,
Mhm.
and giving a chance to having advantage and having snowball.
Soldier, after the first two games, do you think there is a must ban hero?
Yeah, of course. The must ban it was Lancelot because who's picking Lancelot, he's having an advantage of winning. And also we are seeing also Labu Labu again for team the FYG. They are they are not surrendering. Like we will take it again and we will teach BMS how to win.
Soldier, do you think we're seeing player specific bans now?
Specific bans for players. We can see Farsa, we can see Ruby as we see it in the two games. also for the Harith. You can see it.
I can see actually Vamos is actually kind of comfortable right now with the Guinevere pick, although the FIG is actually, they picked Hayabusa again, although in the second game they had a hard time. Hayabusa had a hard time. But I believe since Lancelot is banned this time, Hayabusa might have a chance to actually show up this game more than the previous one. So, yeah, we'll see. And as you can see, the fourth ban for Team Vamos, they're still banning Zushin. They're not giving a chance to Zushin to join the game. I don't think they will ever. And as we can see also from Team DFYG, the Ruby ban is a must for them.
Yeah.
They know how annoying she might be, especially because Ruby can actually counter Hayabusa a lot. She might stun him, and then they might actually gank Hayabusa. So they had to ban Ruby. They didn't want to give a chance for anyone to counter Hayabusa.
Because Hayabusa, it's the point on the TFYG, and they need to trying to eliminate anything annoying Hayabusa and anything like trying to encounter Hayabusa, and they are banning counter picks and also target picks.
I'm surprised they actually banned Lunox this game. There might be a reason for that, and most probably because of the crowd control factor of Lunox. Although, on the other hand, I'm still having questions about the Hayabusa pick
Yes.
because most of what I'm seeing right now from Team Vamos is crowd control based heroes, you know, and Hayabusa wouldn't do a great job with a crowd control team, focusing on crowd control. So it's kind of surprising. What are they going to do with Hayabusa this time? And what are they going to target? So it's kind of weird, but they might have a strategy that I might not have speculated. So let's see in the match what are they going to do with that.
For the second game, Hayabusa didn't get the full potential in the game. Maybe you will see in this game the full potential for the Hayabusa and with Labu Labu and Helda.
Yeah.
But as we see, Farsa it's banned.
Yes.
So
yes.
they're trying to eliminate the damage dealers, the crowd controllers, and the other things that they're trying, the snowballers, we can say, for the both teams.
Yes. As we can see right now, I think they're picking Kimi to be the mid laner.
New pick.
Most probably, yeah. Kimi is going to be a mid laner this time. We saw a Farsa ban this time, and we have a Kadita, or are we having a Valir? This actually, both of these picks are actually very, very, very nice. But I would mostly, I think they would actually go for Valir more than going for Kadita. Especially that Valir is basically more of a slow hero and a stunner, more than Kadita. Kadita is actually a burst damage hero. So we're gonna see who are they going for, or is it gonna go for Valentina then in that case? That's
We see
interesting.
Valentina Harith combo together.
That is very interesting. I think they wanted to benefit Valentina because she benefits from the enemy hero ults. So I think they wanted to benefit from a Yuzong ult or a Guinevere ult in that case, which will help Team DFYG a lot in this match. Let's see the last pick. Oh, Esmeralda.
Esmeralda. Wow.
Okay,
BMS.
this is going to be an interesting game. Um, I think it might actually go to the late game. I think it might go to the late game. I think both teams are actually focusing on the late game more than the early game.
Both teams have fabulous picks and fabulous bans. And we will see in this game new scenarios like we didn't see it. Because now the last game for both and who's winning, it will go for the next stage.
Yeah.
But for VMS and the FIG, like equal, but the upper hand will go to, for my mind, the FIG.
I'm rooting for Vamos, so I wish them all the best. I wish both teams the best, and yeah,
Good. With this draft, which is more forgiving if mistakes happen?
VMS. Yeah,
Soldier?
VMS.
Famous.
I'm with you now.
yeah.
So if both teams play perfectly, you think VMS will win? You will take the win.
If both teams will play perfectly
Mhm.
and the scenario in my mind will happen,
Mhm.
the FIG.
DFYG.
Yeah.
And you,
BMS definitely
BMS.
all the way.
We will see during the game.
So drafts are locked in for game three. The deciding game, pressure is high, plans are set, and now it's all about the execution. Let's send it over to our casters for the deciding battle.
And here we are indeed in a deciding battle between DFYG and Vamos Super Ken now on the Hayabusa Error 404 on the Yisenshin. The junglers for both teams. Nice to see you like what we have come game number 3.
I'm glad we got a game 3, man. I'll put it that way. You know, we had a bunch of sweeps in the previous 2 days. Well, for play-ins, when things are now a little more spicy, I'm glad we're getting game 3s. And I think if you look at both drafts, like our panel mentioned, I think you could say, like, yeah, in a way, let them go to the late game here a little bit, right? If they get to the late game, though, both these lineups have the potential to go ahead and shine more than the other. And a big part of Team Vamos's lineup is, once again, are they able to go ahead and utilize the amount of crowd control they have? Zorn, when he played the Guinevere earlier, like, he was able to do it. You know, he was able to actually go ahead and set things up for the spatial migration. He's very aggressive. And I think that's what makes Zorn, like, always a fun roam to watch. He is one of those roamers that, you know, people really tend to talk about or watch when it comes to the international scene. And, you know, part of that, too, is the scaling. Like, their scalability, like we've talked about Akimi for so long, since she's been in that mid lane meta for so long now, you know that she can provide a ton of damage, and Traction Pulse is great. I think for Team Vamos, though, it's also just making sure that the early game doesn't go to DFYG, because Hayabusa, for example, or even a better game with the Lapu Lapu for Vel could actually be quite devastating in these earlier fights, depending on how they go for it. A Dragon Form is going to be used. Zoning out Super Ken, though, from this turtle pit, but he's going to go back, trying to get Zorn out if he can. He pops the Shadow Kill, does get the first blood. Air 404 will be able to secure it to the turtle, but he finally falls as Vel picks up a kill. The trading across the board, though, an objective secured for Team Vamos.
I believe the DFYG are the happier team to come out of that, especially because Super Ken really outplayed Vamos. He went for the Shadow, went out, and then got back in, got a kill up to Zorn. That's the first blood. And I think that's well worth it in exchange for the turtle, especially from a jungler's perspective. And the bonus that they got from that is to be able to kill Arrow 404. Like this time, we can see Zed utilizing this Hilda properly in a way that he was able to up the damage, then flicker out. There were so many baits that the FYG were able to do that exchange. I would still feel, though, that Team Vamos has got an easier lineup to execute, especially because this last pick, Esmeralda, again, has so much value. Great versus the Lapu Lapu. We already know that. But then you add in the Harith as well as the Hilda. Natko will have a great time later on, and that's something that DFYG should be prepared about.
I mean, part of that, too, is, again, if you look at Team Vamos' lineup, you know, what can you take here for the Valentina? The most value over here is probably the Black Dragon form, or what else could you take that actually would help DFYG's case when it comes to having a Valentina?
Yeah, I think just the
Dragon form, no?
Dragon form. Yeah, but problem is if you overextend, it can actually work badly for you. So you gotta be careful there if you're E1.
E1?
E1, yeah, right. And Super Ken is still very impressive with his jungle, though.
Yeah, I think of this too is just the amount of time that we're seeing it take for a Harith to build up now, scale up. I would say a majority of these Harith games that we've been watching now for the past couple of days here, Wolf, I don't know. I don't know if we're still going to see Harith picked up a ton as the days and weeks go by here. It just seems like it does take a little bit too long to build up. Air 404 is going to be able to secure the second turtle pretty easily. Whoa, a mountain shot. Holding on to the Black Dragon form, doesn't even get to use it. E1 deleted quickly under the turret to put some pressure here in that tier 1 mid. But man, Team Vamos still have an easy kill and a pickup for an objective.
That's a problem with somehow a double-edged sword to copy the usual ultimate, because you're fairly weak and you don't have the double dash anymore for the Valentina. That's why he was knocked down even after popping the ultimate, and also didn't have the purify. That's why Team Vamos have picked up a great kill. In fact, Vamos are leading with 600 gold. As we mentioned, they have an easier lineup to execute. Natko already has the enchanted talisman. It will take only a while before we get to see him with the Oracle, which then makes it so that DFYG will not have enough of a firepower to eventually take out Natco. DFYG needs to really ramp up now. They really need to make a play. Otherwise, Team Vamos will just easily take over this game.
We'll see what happens. I know it's just a very small lead for now. The FIG still potentially can turn it around here. Not letting that push out a little bit further. So, I don't even. The third turtle, DFYG, if they can kind of get into the position where they have a favorable one, and maybe that's a kill off of Super Ken if he's able to get a shadow kill off of this, just like this against Air 4-4. Wow! Happens as soon as I mentioned it. Now Black Dragon form going to be used to pick up Yi1. And Super Ken's pretty low, so they might still put pressure on the purple buff here. A spatial migration combo from Zorn. They're going to put it for Zed. Double kill for Sizka. A massive pickup and just a great game for Sizka already on this Yuzhong. It's so devastating to deal with the Yuzhong scaling up this fast.
This is back-to-back games coming up from Sizka. He's played so well. Actually turned the fight around. That would have been great. Of course, Super Ken is able to get a pick off, but in comes the fray. Air 404. Ooh! That's where the misses, and Super Ken collects the kill before getting out. He is taken out eventually. That's the fourth straight kill for Sizka. Might not have the Yisichin now, but with the turtle up, they will just kind of take it.
And Sizka is eating good, man. 4-0-0. He's gonna scale up so much faster than you traditionally would on Yuzhong here. And once that Petrify's available, this should actually be a pretty easy turtle for them to take. He does pop it. Yi1 using the Mountain Shocker actually going to force this fight. Anyway, Arrow 404 actually dies, so a good play there. But now they got to deal with Sizka jumping in for Yi1. He's going to chase him down. The shot distance is there, but Super Ken actually going to be able to join the fight instead.
No.
Now Natko will kill Long, and they're still going back and forth. Sizka, though, is going to have to be careful not to take too much. He'll heal back up a little bit. This turtle's still for the taking, but Super Ken will go grab his buff. Klakun picking up that Sky Piercer now, though. So all of that might have gotten DFYG their first turtle of the game. This last one, as it's secured by Super Ken.
Pretty scrappy fight for both teams, as Air 404 was left alone. Sizka went for the dangerous grass player on the turtle pit, where he popped the ultimate but did not find anyone. Had it been that they connected with the Mountain Shocker Extra Vision, then Sizka would not have wasted his ultimate on essentially nothing but grass. Could have been good for Team Vamos, but there's just some miscoordination out there. That's why Air 404 eventually got taken out. But Natko punishing Long once again. Long popped the Salmon Force in front of the Esmeralda. One of the capital mistakes, cardinal errors that we can do against the Esmeralda Astahari.
Zorn setting things up again. Zed, quite tanky though. Should be fine. And that's why we see that Esmeralda pop up so much, from draft to draft. Teams really leaning towards Esmeralda, whether that's in the gold lane or XP lane. Like, we've seen both. It's just kind of annoying to deal with. And you kind of have the freedom to do what you want in a way until the proper items or that, enough of that burst is there to deal with an Esmeralda right now. But the fact that you have an Esmeralda this way, but then at the same time, Sizka is having the game he is on this Yuzhong, it's really difficult to win some of these fights, depending on how it actually breaks out. And like I said, most of them are happening here with Super Ken being able to dish out quite a bit of damage on this Hayabusa. But traction pulse thrown out, spatial migration, Requiem combo, Vel falling here in the mid lane, getting caught here. And that's one of the things you have to watch out for with a Guinevere across from you.
Get out of there. Zorn picking up where he left off. Game number 2, it wasn't as clean as game number 2, but Team Vamos are slowly finding steam once again. Leading by 1,000 gold. They're already zoning out the members of DFYG up top so that they can naturally push it. It's gonna be the turret down. Try to put pressure on the Super Ken, but Super Ken might be forced to pop the retribution. No, he won't. And because of that, Zorn gets his purple buff. You see, Team Vamos are pressuring Super Ken to pop the red tree so that the Lord Fight will be in their favor.
Yep.
It turns out they get even more of that because now they get the purple buff on Zorn.
Yeah, so he can just go ahead and spatial migration a little bit more here if he doesn't land the one he wants to. So this is actually a pretty big risk for DFYG to go ahead and start playing around the extra grass that they have here, the extra bush. They'll keep Zed there on the Hilda. At least try to control this space here against Team Vamos. And like I said, even with this kind of lead that Team Vamos has, 2,000 gold ahead. There's the jump in from Zorn. Requiem going to be used as well. And now it's going to try to get away, but Vel will flick around forward and not go chasing him down. A sliver of health. And also Zed going to run away from this. Not go. We will hold up that front side. This is an opening now for Team Vamos to go ahead and secure this Lord, unless somehow, some way, Super Ken can get in position to potentially steal this. He does jump in, gets thrown into the air, knocked into the air. Again, a petrify from Siska. 6-0-1, a massive game once again with this Yu Zhong here. Lord secured, team fight secured for Team Vamos.
Team Vamos head of the trap. DFYG sprung it so easily. They know that eventually when the Lord is too low, DFYG will do everything just to get that retribution up. Super Ken making that play with the dash, of course, with a shadow kill, but because of that, you can see that Team Vamos were so much prepared. The stun was already waiting in the wings. They know they have the knock-up. They know they have the control against Super Ken. Not only did they get the Lord, they also get 3 kills on top of that, increasing their lead to 4.6k at just 11 minutes in. They might even be able to push the bottom lane turret easily.
See how they handle this push with the Lord. Again, both teams here facing elimination right now through Games of the Future, and Team Vamos with a healthy lead in this Lord pushing in. They might just win it even off this first push. A Black Dragon form going to be used by Siska just to keep them at bay. They secure themselves that base turret, now knocking down at the tier 2 in the mid. They still have the work to do up top as well, so DFYG will go ahead and defend, take out the Lord. And Team Vamos, despite this lead, will take things a little bit slower just to stay disciplined, take out these tier 2 turrets, potentially take some base turrets down too, or at least do some damage to them. But right now, they're just happy with the one push down on bot.
12 minutes and you get the inhibitor. I think that's a big reason to be happy for Team Vamos, but job's not done yet. They really need to secure this. We'll be waiting for 70 more seconds before the next Lord spawns. And I think the next target now for Team Vamos is to deny that purple buff away from Super Ken. They have positioned their pieces around it already, just waiting for it to spawn. Eventually, the Yi Sun Shin will get to that position. While that's happening, Zorn is actually scouting out where the FYG members are.
Yeah, they have, I mean, even for...
Look at the position from Esmeralda, the extra push from Dangerous Grass.
Oh, no. Yeah. Natko's, though, he's going to be fine. Again, there's so much this Esmeralda can do. You know, it doesn't really, like, if you are going to wait patiently in one of these bushes here, the Dangerous Grass, like, Natko is the guy to go give the information. Doesn't necessarily have to be Zorn here, and that's one of the advantages of having this Esmeralda on this lineup. You know, you can kind of do this all day, man, and that's what Natko wants to do. Very different, you know, than every single time that you see these gold laners do get a chance to play the Esmeralda. Maybe it's a little freeing for them. Like, they're like, okay, yeah, I get to play a very different game than what I normally do in the gold lane with a traditional marksman.
Yeah. Team Vamos Iridian armor up on Natko. They will start the Lord very easy, very quickly. Zorn already scouted them out and into the prey.
Oof. Okay, Lord secure though, so that was all a distraction. They'll just go for the reset, get ready to march towards the base here of DFYG once again. And I don't know, Wolf. I think, you know, with this case in game 3, 7,000 behind, and really Super Ken's kind of initial advantage that he had on the Hayabusa, especially early on, has kind of waned a little bit. And now, you know, you're looking to see where that point of contention is going to be with this composition. And unfortunately, Long just isn't there yet. Black Dragon form going to be used, pushing them off of this top base turret as the Lord has to be dealt with on the bottom. A stun with a Petrify too. Vel is gone so quickly once again. Lord finally being worked on, but he did clear out the wave. So DFYG just with the health or just with the life of Vel, they stay in the game off that Lord push. They still have a few pushing waves powered up for Team Vamos. They're going to go for this mid turret, not go, keeping them cut off from that turret. And Zed might gone a little bit too far in there as Clockwood picks up a kill. Base turret's going to fall. They have that one cannon minion. They're going to lock onto the base, and they have to do everything they can to stay in the game. DFYG will be able to take out Siska. That's a big pickup and a successful defense for DFYG to face off against Team Vamos, staying in this game 3.
That's enough for Team Vamos to just get out of there in this elimination match. They're literally one win away from advancing into the quarterfinals, and seems like they are leading by so much that they can afford to prolong this game even further. And to be fair, I would agree. I think it's much better for them to just get out. Natko has to get away from this though. That's the flicker.
Whoa, the damage. Parkour with the Wind of Nature too. He's almost able to get away. A good attempt there, but at least the turnaround is something that DFYG needed to happen here. Catching out Parkoon, even getting a couple flickers, not goes as well. This might be a small opening for DFYG to make something happen. Now Arrow 404,
no.
He's actually going to get caught out here too as well. Picks up a kill, and now it's Nocco in trouble. Super Ken picks up another. What is happening to Team Vamos?
Oh no, Team Vamos. Overconfident, overstaying as well. Getting outplayed, outmaneuvered in that part of the map. They definitely did not expect that death push play coming out from DFYG. Now they have lost all of their core members. Will lose their outer current in the mid lane. Long posing for another push, but the defense will be there from Zorn as well as Sizga. U1 might not be enough to get a push up.
Oh, U1.
He has to get away now.
Oh, he does. The Terrify comes in clutch there. Zorn has immortality, but is he going to burn his flicker as well? Pankun there, quite low. Siska is going to jump in. Super Ken, not sure if he's going to commit to this. He gets knocked into
what
the
a
air.
stun.
What a stun, a spatial migration. They were waiting for that moment for Super Ken to move forward, and that is unfortunate. Bad timing, too, as now the Lord is up for Team Vamos.
Oh my goodness, what a way to outplay Super Ken out there. The FYG are already outplaying Team Vamos. In fact, they have forced the Dragon form, they have forced the immortality onto Clockun. They have all the tools for them to get this Lord, but Super Ken just stumbles because of the outplay from Team Vamos.
So tough. I don't know if they can delay this, Wolf. They're going to try Zed, trying to get an angle here, but he's going to be zoned in, zoned down, and taken it down. Arrow 404 will pick up a kill. Clockun picks up the Wind of Nature again after using it earlier on. They'll be able to secure this Lord off of that. And that is a good play to solidify the objective for Team Vamos after a shaky last couple minutes.
Oh. Now, I got to say, for DFYG, they tried to buy the time for Super Ken to be there and almost were enough time, but Vamos making any extra movements out there, just focusing on taking the Lord and punishing whoever is in front. Did not overextend to get a kill onto E1 as well as Long because they know that they can end this with just raw power. Just, their lead has been down to 3,000, but this is more than doable. Might be able to push up top, and then the last push, Team Vamos commences.
Last push potentially here. They're going to go for this Black Dragon form already used. Arrow 404 trying to get away. Bell is low in there. Clockun picks up the kill. Lord's going to be actually cleared out and worked on it. Natco splitting them up, but Clockun gets a double. And now they're going to go a little bit further. Natco's immortality is going to be popped here. Long going for that cleanup kill, but can't solidify. Taken out Natco, but still, DFYG still defends 19 minutes into this game 3.
Not letting up. This is an elimination match, and Super Ken is throwing everything. Almost have won against Onyx yesterday in a 30-minute match. I'll not be surprised if they can prolong this even further. You can see the heart from Super Ken. Let's see if they can defend for more. Team Vamos seems like they probably wanted to make a play.
They do get the Purify out. Again, a Black Dragon up to lead them all, but Siska's feeling the damage now. Natco's going to be in trouble. He gets caught out with Landshaker stunned in his tracks. DFYG is not going home so easily. They'll take it past the 20-minute mark here in Game 3. And Team Vamos is wondering that too. Like, man, we're so close so many times, but we can't end it. Even with all the base turrets of DFYG down, they still hold on.
Fortunately, no Battlestar for Natko to save himself out there. Team Vamos tried to make another play, even when they didn't have to. They tend to wait for the next Lord to spawn. But I think it's a good heat check against DFYG. To be fair, Natko will respawn long enough that the Lord will be available when he is up once again. And I think the Team Vamos can actually afford to lose their top lane turret. They have all of the lanes pushed naturally because of the super minions that they have anyways. And if they don't make any extra moves right now, they can easily play the map in their favor. But here they are, Dragon Core committed.
They want to fight. They know that down bot is Super Ken, so this is going to be a fight they want to take. Team Vamos will take out E1. They're going to be looking for more. Knocked in the air. Yell has immortality. He's trying to get away through the wall. He goes. Super Ken joining the fight. Long has so much shields here. This is Natko, though, leading that charge. Mount Shocker is going to be able to find a Zed. Zed bobbing and weaving, but will go down to Error 404, and they'll make their way to the Lord to solidify a potential Game 3. This is going to be much tougher to deal with now that it's an evolved Lord.
Oh, what a play coming out from Team Vamos. They said that they should not be doing any extra moves, but they have identified that there's no threat. The Hayabusa is in the bottom lane. It will take a while before he gets there. He knows, Siska knows that with this Warcry built on the Yuzhong, he has a one-hit potential against E1, who is now only rocking the Purify.
Once again, this is going to lead that front. Black Dragon form. Vel jumps in with the Bravest Finder. Salmon Force drop down 2. They're going to clear this out. E1 looking for an ultimate to take. He's just going to go in with the Terrify and keeps Natko at bay. And now Vel trying to run here. Once again, defensive items being switched out. Oh, he picks up an immortality just in time as well. He's going to heal back at the Fountain of the Lord now. They got to deal with this, and Zorn jumps in. A spatial migration. Super Ken is gone. A massive play and a decision from Zorn. Can they win the fight? They've already lost 3. This is a big defense for DFYG. And despite Zorn's play, DFYG will stay in it. They'll clear out the waves and the Lord.
Was the massive play coming out from Zorn. I thought it was instrumental to the victory of DFYG. But if you think about it, the Hayabusa is not that important when it comes to the defense. It's more of a distraction at this point. And when they tried to go in, all in, they got caught into the backlines with Vel dealing the damage, and as well as Valentina. Valentina, we have already forgotten how much damage this mage can actually deal in a team fight. And we are reminded of how strong a Valentina could be, especially when he's dealing AoE damage. E1 salvaging this team. And Super Ken might have been a great target for Team Vamos, but they were so tunnel vision into taking down that Hayabusa. The moment that Zorn caught him, and everybody from Team Vamos just went in, took the beeline towards where Super Ken is. And what generally happened was that we're clumped up together. Vel managed to land a good ultimate combo, dealing enough damage to an AoE, and then of course E1 was there to clean up.
Man, look at the items here. They're like, there's so much juggling between these, these Winter Crowns, the Wind of Natures, of course. But hats off to DFYG staying into this game for multiple minutes now, 8+ minutes up to this point. When Team Vamos first entered the base, and you got to remember they were at one point down almost 8,000 gold.
That's right.
In this Game 3, and yes, the gold doesn't really matter at this point. It's more so of just switching in those defensive items when they need it at the right moment. But what DFYG has been able to do is stay in the game and now actually be in a position to potentially contest this Lord. The biggest thing for them is they don't want to get caught in a position they don't want to with what's across from them. Again, that is still Siska for the most part, right? Siska and Zorn. They got to be careful.
Zorn and Ken.
They're going to go for the backside. They're going to go for this back lane push. E1 popping the Winter Crown. Super Ken takes out Natko. They're trying to get away. A couple flickers burned here too. 4 is gone. This is a massive turnaround for DFYG. They're going to go for Siska. He's trying to run. They can actually start up this Lord. He's doing what he can. Siska actually still alive. And it's DFYG to chase down. Meanwhile, Zed chasing Zorn. Siska finally goes down, but they get 4 kills for DFYG. And with a full force team, they can run it down mid with this
They
wave
know it.
pushing in. This is massive. What can Zorn do? But just watch. A shadow kill going to be used, but with this wave pushing in and the full team.
Oh, man.
With U1 clearing out the waves, DFYG did it. They did the comeback. They made it happen, and they send Team Vamos home in Games of the Future 2025.
And they already knew nice that they took out their headsets because they know that with TikTok timers up and available, they cannot survive. G1 was ready for that play. Oh my God, the Winter Crown to eliminate the Team Vamos. What an outlay. Oh my goodness, the FYG.
Man, what a that's playing here, Wolf. It's unfortunate for Team Vamos that they had control of for so long. And then here comes DFYG. You know, they stayed locked into it. They had some rough here in the start of the game and everything else, but they managed to pull in and turn things around. What an amazing series we had here just to open up today.
No room for errors for anyone, and that also applies to Vamos. Super Kim and the gang fought tooth and nail for this one, and they have outplayed Team Vamos. What a great play. I'm sure that the panel has a lot to talk about. Back to you, panel.
Question, right? You guys fell through in the second match, right? You've lost the second match. How did you guys recover back up to win the third and call it a night for you guys?
I just tell to my friend, just keep focused at the game 3.
Amazing, as easy as that. Now, you guys are heading into the quarterfinals. Obviously, a pretty huge step for you guys. You're probably going to be competing with a very strong team. How do you guys prepare for such a match? How do you guys prepare for a big match like the one that you're going to be having tomorrow at the quarterfinals?
I think just play and trust my coach for draft win.
Amazing. That is the right answer. Do you guys feel confident that you're going to take the win tomorrow?
Yeah, confident.
Amazing. Well done. Congratulations. One more time, everybody. Give it up to Team DFYG.
Games of the Future.
And that's it. Game 3 is done. The series is decided, and what a way to close it out. DYFG secured that win, a full 3-game battle. Momentum swings, pressure moments, and ultimately a winner emerging here tonight. Let's bring in the desk and break everything down. So, Groot, let's start with you. From a big picture perspective, what decided this Game 3?
Well, you know the saying, curiosity killed the cat? Where overconfidence killed Vamos this match. They went overconfident, and that's what made them actually lose this match. They thought that they had it, but then DFYG had something else to say. They told them, no, this is our match. Although it seemed, that Vamos is going to take the win, but after what they've done, they started doing mistake after mistake after mistake, which led to their loss.
Soldier, you think the same?
To be honest, Team Vamos have the ego thing happens in the game, but the FYG tried to play on their mistakes, around their mistakes, and they took the game from their hands, because Team Vamos having the potential in the objectives, having the advantage also on the lanes, having the potential also in the map. They can move, they can focus on the map more than the FYG. The FYG having more stress in the map, but having little bit overconfident kills you a little bit, because the FYG they play on the little bit relaxed, trying to be confident on their games, without rushing. No need to rush. Just play our style, our scenarios, and our thing and our chemistry, and it happens. And they took the win, and they deserve it, because I like it when they play on their mistakes. This is the best thing happens during the match 3. Because Team Vamos, they think like they didn't notice like we are doing mistakes because they are doing mistakes after mistakes after mistakes because they're repeating the same things after and after.
Yes, that is very true. That is very true. And this is what made the FYG actually steal the win from Team Vamos. As we can see here, there is not much difference in the gold, in the total gold. Even the towers destroyed, since the FYG did not have to push the side lanes, they had to just push the mid lane to get the win. So, this is how they got the win. Although Team Vamos had 4 lords slain,
Yes.
'cause and the DFYG didn't even get a lord.
None.
They didn't even need a
Zero.
lord, to actually grab this win. And Churchill slain, there was, we would say the match was most entirely balanced until Team Vamos started, their ego started,
Little bit get higher.
yeah, and it started taking control over them actually. And this is where they actually started messing up. The FYG, they held on to the base as much as they could, and they knew that holding on to the base would actually give them a chance for the win, and they got it in the end.
Team Vamos, they tried to play on the quick match fast as possible. Let's win. Let's get this lord and let's push from bottom. But Team DFOG, they took the deep breath and they see the mistakes one by one. They see the small points. They see how to critically strike on it, and they won and they got it because they know how to play it. They know how to control of the map. They took it because Team Vamos in the first it was goal different between teams. It was higher for the BMS, but now on we are seeing in the leaderboard it's equal because we reached to the late game and each game it's equal for them for the goals and the items. But the FOG they played very perfectly in for the matches and for the scenarios and rotations.
Okay,
Exactly.
and now let's talk about the MVP. MVP of the game, Soldier. What do you have to say?
To be honest, MVP it was very perfect for the FOG. He knows he deserved it because in the game it was his impact. It was very noticeable, and he got it. And also his teams, it's hidden stars, and he's the superstar.
Good.
Yeah, well, with Dion, he used to play with Valentina, so he was actually doing a great job with crowd controlling the enemy Team Vamos. And the thing is with Team Vamos, their disadvantage that they had is their 2 heroes, Yusun Shin and Kimi, were mostly being targeted by Hayabusa and Hilda. And these were the actual 2 damage dealers of Team Vamos. And if DFYG grabbed and killed them,
There is
Team
no,
Vamos,
no,
there's
no
nothing
damage
else.
dealer.
Yeah, there is no damage dealer for Team Vamos, so they would actually, gank on Team Vamos and just kill everyone else. And that's what they did in the late game. They targeted Hisan Shin, they targeted Kimi, Team Vamos dropped.
They don't have any other.
They couldn't do
damage dealer.
anything. So
But
yeah.
Soldier, can you talk us through the momentum that changed the game, that sealed the deal for DYFG?
To be honest, for DFYG, they focus on Hayabusa and they focus how to make Hayabusa more stronger, more snowballer, and no one is focusing and no one is noticeable. Like he's getting more and more and more damaged and more impact and more advantage because they for Team Vamos, they have 2 damage dealer and they are relaxed more. But Team DFYG, they are hidden treasure. Hook suddenly surprised everyone. Hayabusa, it's like a ninja, faster. They are taking the kills like this with the blink of the eyes.
That is very
But do you guys think that the losing side have any chance to recover after that?
Yeah, definitely. They always have a time to recover, but the only way that they could recover, a losing side can recover from their state right now is actually depending on the mistakes of the enemy team, basically. So if they actually benefit from it, that's it. It's perfect for them. They can actually win right now.
Okay, I think we're gonna be back shortly with more in this Game of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you.
Abu Dhabi and UAE at the moment seems to be the epicenter of autonomous robotics and many other activities.
Welcome back, everyone. Coming up next, we move into a best of three single elimination matchup here at Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025, powered by ADNOC. So it's going to be Homeboys versus Verso Time. One series, no second chances, and everything from the group stage now comes down to this moment. Good. How much does the single elimination format change the mindset compared to the groups?
Single elimination format, you change their minds from where basically you don't have second chances anymore. It's
Mhm.
either, you win or you get eliminated. So teams should start taking things way more seriously than the group stage. They have the stakes are at a high level. So focus, you need to focus. Yeah.
Soldier, from a player's perspective, how different does it feel knowing there's no lower bracket safety net? Same as the question, but how does it feel, you think, from a player's perspective?
But look, for a player perspective,
Mhm.
like sometimes I feel like I have a safe place to go, like for the loser bracket. But
Right.
now you cannot go. You don't have a safe place. You don't. Now you have all the stress to play on the best of three and best of five, because best of three have a mindset, different mindset, and best of five it's a different mindset and a different coaching style and scenarios of the game. It's totally different for both best of five and best of three. And I don't have loser bracket, so it will be totally different for all the teams.
But for you two, Good and Soldier, does this format favor disciplined teams or explosive ones?
I think it favors both. It depends. It's a case to case scenario in that case. And since we are actually our next match is actually Verso Time versus Homeboys. We will see which one is explosive and which one is not, or if both are explosive in that case. It is going to be excited. Homeboys, they stood out a lot. They are very well known. Verso Time, I would say they are, the rising stars in MLBB. So we're hoping that to see actually the best from them today.
Okay, let's start with Homeboys during the group stage. Groot, from a macro standpoint, what stood out about Homeboys in the group stage?
What I saw the matches from Homeboys, basically, they were not kidding. They were not kidding around. They were playing very professionally, but very chill as well. They were very chill while they were playing. It showed that they actually had a lot of synergy going on between the teammates, and yeah, this is one of the reasons why they actually, qualified the group stages, and they're with us today.
Okay, Soldier, execution wise, how clean were Homeboys, you think, in their group stage?
In the group stage, I like the play style of Homeboys because they have a different play style better than other teams. And in the group stage was like the eyes on them because they have like macros perfectly and micros. They are playing on the macro and micro very perfectly during their games. Also their qualifiers from the beginning better than the other teams in their group. Also for the other hand, like Versatile, they have little bit chemistry and they have a scenario they are doing every match. And that's what I like. They're repeating the same thing. Like if you are winning, you'll repeat the same thing. Because if you will do something else, you will lose.
Yeah, that is very hard. But this is a double-edged sword in that case, because when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, people will start to understand your strategy, so they will just basically try to counter it. So I hope they come up with something new today, other than what they've been doing yesterday, and hopefully that would actually something that would be surprising to us.
Like what we were discussing earlier, for sure they have a lot of cards there, because it cannot be just one.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah.
Soldier, what impressed you most about Verso Time?
To be honest, Versatile, they have during the group stage, when I was like noticing their play style and like when they are winning, they're repeating the same things. But when they're repeating, they're changing some micros that we are not noticing. Only the players will notice and the coaches will notice. So other players will notice a little bit because during the game you will focus on like the superstars and other like other players, but there is hidden players. They are doing they need to do something in the map. You will not notice.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I
taking
know.
objectives,
Yeah.
taking like blind spots. They will do go to the bushes. They will stay. They will make traps. That's the thing you will not notice little bit. So they will make it fast and clear.
Yeah.
Since you were mentioning about the play styles, I think this is gonna be a real clash of styles. Good, stylistically, how do these two teams match up with their play styles?
In their play styles, I would believe it's not that much. They're not very similar to each other. They might be actually, slightly more into an opposite. Versatile is a little bit more of an objective based and aggressive a little bit. Homeboys is mostly objective, and they're very chill while they're playing. They know what they're doing, you know. And as what Soldier said, is Versatile is focused on um, some players that are actually not showing, in the game itself, but they are playing a huge part, in what they're doing, in making their team win as well. So they're not. I wouldn't say they're very similar to each other, but yeah, I'm excited to see the match. I'm very excited actually. How long is remaining for the match to start? I'm very excited.
It's coming right up. Just some few minutes, it will come up. But Soldier, do you think who has the clear win condition?
For the clear win competition, homeboys. Homeboys, they have the clear thing because I like the chill, like relaxed the play style. No need to rush. No need to be like aggressive. Just be aggressive on when the time it's like it wants, but just be clear, chill, take deep breath, and you will win. Because we saw a lot of like Russia's team, and they fall apart. But the homeboys, they have like claiming the ladders one by one.
Yeah.
But who do you think needs to dictate the tempo to win?
Homeboys, to be honest. They need to be on the rhythm, on the same chemistry, on the same strategies, on the same scenario, but little bit unpredictable scenarios because other team will little protect.
Mm.
Game one could set the tone. I think whomever will secure the game one will continue. So I'm thinking this is gonna be a 2-0.
Do you think so?
I think so.
I think
How about
not.
you, Good
I
and
don't.
Soldier?
I don't. I think not. I think there might be some challenge going on this match. I think that both teams are actually kind of in the same level, kind of. Homeboys with the much more, like a little bit more experience than actually Verso time. But I think Verso is not coming here to play around. I think they want to show themselves up.
For sure, everyone knows what at stake here. We're talking about dollars here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, but let's make a bet. For me, it's gonna be 2-0, and it's gonna be homeboys.
I think it's gonna be 2-1, and I think it's going to be Homeboys.
I like 2-0 games because I like the rhythm when they win. Like they have the the energy to continue. They have a little bit ego because I like to
Yeah,
be egoistic.
yeah.
So they will continue in the same rhythm as the FOG, but they fall a little bit apart, but they climb and they win.
But you didn't say which team are you with this time.
Hey, you didn't say anything.
Ah,
He's playing safe.
ah.
He's playing safe.
Still, I didn't see the like selection, the
Okay.
hero selection.
So after the selection, you'll
So
decide.
you think drafting matters?
Yeah,
It's
drafting
not about the
matters.
team. Drafting matters.
Drafting matters 70% or maybe 80% because I like.
But
to, I
Homeboys
like,
is very well known.
yeah, because homeboys during the group stage, I
Uh-huh.
was seeing every game for them, and I like the drafting for them because the coach behind them, he's very well known, and he's very known like how to draft. There is some coaches are perfect on drafting, but they are little bit down on matching, and some coaches they are perfect on too. But I like for homeboys, they are perfect for drafting during the drafting pan picks. They are very great.
I see. I see.
But what do we think, Groot, is the single most important factor for Homeboys to win? Because I'm betting on Homeboys.
I think the most important thing that they need, the factor that they need to work on the most, is the objective. They need to focus on the objective. I don't want the enemy team to kind of distract them from their objectives, because some teams they do get distracted by the team fights and they forget about what they were supposed to do in the first place. So I don't. I want homeboys to stay chill, focus on their objectives, reach the goal that they want to reach, which is the base, and get their win. As simple as that.
That's a great
Yeah.
analysis.
Yeah.
Okay, Soldier, what does Verso Time need to do in game to control this matchup?
See, for the first time, I like the playstyle they are playing because they are old school style. That's why I like, and they can, for the old school style, they can counter each and every scenario for the new meta. Because old school, it's like very known little bit style and known like heroes they can choose, and the old meta they can like we can see Xborg,
Yeah.
we can see Esmeralda, so little bit we can see uh, old heroes they will choose and the old play style for the versatile.
And let's see. Let's see. I'm not sure that they would do the same thing today, but
Yeah.
if they actually do, that'll be very exciting. To see the old meta versus the
Wow.
new meta, which is I'm kind of old school as well. I'm kind of old meta as well. I like the old meta more than the new one, but the new one is also has exciting strategies and exciting factors like the new heroes that are coming out. Um, they're very special. Each and every one has a special thing, going on. So yeah.
Okay, we're just having a technical difficulty right now. We're just fixing it, but we will be right back more with Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. See you guys. Uh-huh. Oh,
I'm on 3. 3 and 4. So I'm on 4. Okay. Okay.
of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. Let's hear it for the first team. Please welcome Verso Time! You may take your seat right now. Good luck. And now, Abu Dhabi, let's hear it for the opponent. Please welcome on stage, Homeboys! All right, gentlemen, this is your time. You may take your seat right now. Best of luck to both teams. Let's get started with the competition, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your patience. We are back here again in Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025, powered by ADNOC. And we are fully back on track with our Homeboys versus Verso time. So, good. After a technical pause like that, do teams usually stick to their original draft plan, or you think they make last second adjustments?
No, I don't think any technical issues would actually make them like have a second thoughts about their draft picks. But it might actually their coach might be having something about it. He might actually think things over. To see if there are any last chance changes that might happen. But it's unlikely to happen. So I think they're still sticking to
You
their
will stick
plans.
to the original plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Soldier, as a player, how important is it to mentally reset after a pause before drafting?
It's an advantage for them because they will think more and they will take deep breath more because you have more time to relax, more time to refresh your mind, to refresh your thoughts, your ideas with the coach, and you will just wrap it up and you are ready for a stage.
Okay, so we are fully back on track, and the ban and big stage for game one is now live. So Homeboys versus Verso time.
So as we can see right now, the first ban is actually from Verso team. We're waiting to see if it's going to be, a similar meta ban or if there is something else on their minds based on their knowledge of Team Homeboys. What do you expect, Soldier? Do you think it's a usual bans like the previous game, or are we seeing something new here?
I think versus they will open with the respect ban because they need to know eliminate the tempo from Homeboys.
Yeah, but as we can see, the first ban is basically Fanny, which is actually a usual ban because Fanny is actually, a well-known
meta ban.
hero. Yeah, it's a meta ban. It's a meta ban. Whoever picks Fanny usually is going to be extremely annoying to the opposing team.
Wow. To be honest, Homeboys and Team Verso, they are targeting ban because it's a respectful between of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and Eve.
We're seeing Basha, we're seeing Eve. We're usually until now we're seeing the usual
Yes,
bans.
there's nothing random about this.
Yeah, yeah. There is nothing random. It's basically the usual bans. They're banning the top meta heroes, basically, which are, they would give the opposing team a very strong upper hand. And we see Zushin as well getting banned. Although Zushin actually lately he got a series of nerfs, but she's still very strong in the meta. She's still considered as a very extremely strong crowd control hero. Right now, we're not surprised. Nothing surprising so far, but we are hoping to see something exciting from both teams and new picks and new strategies. Of course, the third and the final ban for the first stage of Verso team is going to be Kalea. And then we are moving up to the final ban of Homeboys.
Both teams are drafting around the meta.
Yeah.
Because like we are seeing Fanny, we can see Eve for the blue side, and the red side they have also the objective to pick two for the blue side.
Exactly, exactly. As I can see, nothing surprising so
Yes,
far.
still.
Yeah, nothing surprising so
I'm waiting
far.
for the surprises.
Yeah, that's what we're all waiting for, actually, and all the audience over here are waiting for to see such a strong match. And the last ban for the first stage is actually Grok. Still nothing surprising. And of course, the first pick,
Do you like
Lancelot.
this first pick
It's
for
a
game one?
it's a usual pick. It's a usual pick. It's an expected pick. Why not? Makes my life easier. As a Lancelot player and as a team in general. So yeah, a Lancelot pick is very expected. But are they going to actually? Homeboys are going to actually choose something else or
Yeah,
not?
but does this first pick like reveal too much of the game plan or not?
Not really, not really. It's actually a safe pick, I would say. Doesn't show much, but as I can see, the Team Homeboys didn't hesitate and they just picked Hildy immediately, and Lunox. Lunox actually is such a great pick in this game because Lunox can actually act like a crowd control hero and as well as a burst damage hero. So she can play both roles in that case, which is going to be such a wonderful pick for Homeboys. And are we going to see any counters from Team Verso, Soldier?
To be honest, the first pick was a power pick for them, and keeping homeboys guessing until what is the second phase will happen, because in the first phase of the ban, it appears like they pick Lancelot, and they're targeting we need Lancelot because it's a win condition for them.
Yeah, yeah, that is very true. We're seeing Kimmy right now. That might be a pick from Team Verso. Are they gonna actually lock in that pick, or are they gonna change any the pick in the last second? We'll see. We were seeing Gatot and we were seeing Kimmy. So Kimmy is most probably going to be in the mid lane, and Gatot playing the role of the roamer. Oh, the new hero, Sora.
Let's see. This is
Are we gonna actually see Sora today?
well, one of the surprises, so we need to see it.
Well, that would be very, very, very surprising to see Sora, being an actual hero in the tournament today.
To be honest, homeboys now they scales better with the draft until now with the three, but we will see more in the second phase for them.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think so, because Sora would be they didn't have enough time actually to play the hero, although he's a very strong hero, such a crowd control hero, but yeah, they said, okay, let's stick with the meta.
Now
So
it's the
choose.
second ban phase.
Second ban phase. Are we going to see the usual bans or not? Or are we going to see targeted bans?
I think now for the homeboys and Versatime, they will focus on targeting bans, because let's testing the waters in the first game. After that, if it goes 1-1-1, then they will appear the new cards they have.
That is very true. That is very true. Oh, we're seeing Arlot. This is actually a targeted ban.
Wow.
This is not a meta ban. This is actually a targeted ban. So
Groot, what do you think? What synergy are they trying to remove now by banning Arlot?
Arlot is such a a crowd control hero. Is such a strong in his XP lane and in also helping the team in team fights. So it would be a great problem for homeboys to keep Arlot on check in the game, as we can see that Gatot Kimmy, and Arlot would synergize pretty damn well with Lancelot as well. So they didn't want to take chances. All right, I believe Ruby might be in the ban as well. we might see that, but we're seeing Verso is actually banning Freya as well. So they are focusing more on the XP lane right now. They know, both teams, they know that the XP lane is such a dangerous lane for both teams. So they are actually trying to make it easier for them, you know. I'm still expecting to see Ruby because Ruby would synergize pretty well with Team Verso's picks. So yeah,
Ruby crowd controls with it. Really gives an advantage for the team, and like it didn't get banned until now. So I think we will see Ruby with it because in the first games we didn't saw it, and it was targeted. Oh,
Yuzong,
interesting
Yuzong.
ban. Use on
Yeah, it's all like all three bans right now. The three final bans that
targeted.
we've seen, they're targeted and they're actually all XP lane bans. Now this is the last ban for Team Verso. Are we gonna see another XP lane ban, or are we gonna see something else? I believe, Soldier, it's gonna be another XP ban. What do you think?
Because who's controls the XP lane, he's getting an advantage. To be honest,
Definitely.
during the game, because XP lane it's very important, and it gives you more advantage on the game. And wow,
Okay, they actually
Good.
went for the jungle ban.
Jungle.
They actually went for the jungle ban.
They said enough XP lane bans. Let's go for another level. Let's ban the jungle.
And they actually gave homeboys right now.
Ruby.
No, they're not gonna. They might not pick Ruby, most probably because Chu is there, Hilda is there. But what they did is they put homeboys into pressure. All right, with not knowing right now what to choose, they minimize their choice of the jungler, and Team Verso might actually go for the Ruby pick. In that case, they might go for it, or they might have something else. There are different heroes that they can pick. Suyo, okay, Suyo.
Groot,
Yeah.
by picking Suyu, what kind of composition is Homeboys building toward?
Basically they're focusing on the target kills basically, so one hero kill, which I think Suyo is going to be mostly focused on Kimi and Lancelot in that case. But we still need to see the entire draft pick so we can actually know if this is the actual target that they're looking for, this is the actual objective for picking Suyo, or is there anything else. They picked Lapu Lapu. I think Ruby is out of the picks right now. I don't think any of the teams might pick Ruby. For the last pick, actually, they're going for Ruby. They're going for
Wow.
three Gatot Kacha, Ruby, and Lapu Lapu. So we don't have an actual gold laner who is a marksman. One of the heroes, either Ruby or Lapu Lapu, is going to be handling the gold lane in that case, which is, I believe, Verso do not want to take risks of homeboys picking Ruby in the end. So
For
will
the
this
blues.
work out for them?
Look for the blue side. The last pick, it's complete the puzzle. Like it was a missing piece. Now with Ruby, it's a complete puzzle. We will see a new scenario of the game. Like three Ruby, Labo Labo, Lancelot, and one team.
Oh,
It's an interesting game.
Xborg.
Wow, Xborg. It's a common sense they choose because Xborg in the meta, and to be honest, I like the playstyle of the Xborg. During the game, like it gives you a comfortable things.
Yeah, actually, what it seems right now is both teams are playing on the late game. It's going to be a long game because not much heroes can dish out damage in the early game for both teams. Um, what do you think? Who has the upper hand in the draft pick?
Look for the upper pick, the blue side. But whoever controls the objectives, who wins during this draft? Because this draft it's like executions. Who execute the objectives? Who execute the towers during the game and have more control in the map, more vision, more like easier moving in the map? They wins.
Exactly.
Totally.
Exactly.
But
That
if
is
it's
completely
where
right.
the both of you are playing, which draft would you rather play, Homeboys or Verso Time?
To be honest, I will go with homeboys.
I would go with the homeboys as well because yeah, I honestly
Finally,
would go.
we agreed.
Although, by the way, Verso's draft pick is quite amazing, but it's relying on team fights. It's completely relying on team fights. It's not relying on team fights plus single fights. So, Homeboys has the advantage of the team fights.
Okay, drafts are locked in for game one, so everything is set. Let's send it over to our casters.
Thank you so much, panel. And nice, we are seeing Stu Yu. Do you like seeing this hero at all? It's going to be up against a Lancelot against Versatile Time, one of our favorites heading into this tournament. But yeah, Stu Yu. Do you like
So
it?
you?
Stu
I
Yu?
don't. I don't. You know, I feel like
Okay.
there was a time when I would say I don't miss it, but it's been a while. He kind of fell out of the meta for a bit, you know, especially after the technically that nerf that was warranted. I feel like there was just so much that Suyo could do that it was just too overpowered. But it's
Yeah.
nice to see fits in the current meta still. You know, other than that, oh whoa, I thought he was actually he didn't take that right. Okay, he was just there. Very aggressive start on the Suyo, and that's one of the things you can do. You know, you can continue to be aggressive if you want to, go into the enemy side of the jungle. But even so, it's still really good to be able to go toe to toe with someone like a Lancelot. And you know, when you look at this lineup from Verso Time, oh wait, he did take the orange because Xeno doesn't have it. So I guess he retreat that.
He
Yeah,
was able. Yeah, so
he
he's
actually
able
used
to
the
do
retreat.
it.
All right, that's
Yeah,
good.
okay. The last time that I was able to see a Malaysian team in the grand finals just recently, it was the Southeast Asian Games. We actually saw the Stuyo being played twice by the Malaysian team.
Mm-hmm.
And first one, they almost won. The second one, they totally lost. And it was up against the Lancelot too. I mean, both games. I have a lot of reservations with the Suyo pick. Maybe Amal can prove us different, but Versatile Time with this Lancelot, it's gonna be a good game day for them.
Yeah, there's already a delay here, though, too. Phantom Execution going to be used by Xeno, but no contest for the Turtle. This might be a bad fight for them to take. First blood, though, going in the hands of Izanami. They're trading it out 1-for-1 so far, but it's still going to go as Reza falls. Castle on the other side. Just bodies dropping on both sides. Oh, I thought he was going to take that too, man. But luckily, Xeno secures his purple buff. And it's a trade across the board, but the Turtle goes to the hands of Homeboys.
Yeah.
So it's still even though, Wolf. Despite all that, because of those kills, Versatile Time keeps things under control.
Yeah, much more manageable for Homeboy, especially because Amal has a distinct XP lead over this land, so that's why they got the turtle. But my oh my, I don't know if you've seen that, but Castle was able to take down a member of Homeboys through the wall just because of how much range there is with the first skill one. Yeah, that's skill. It can go through the wall.
A good kick here. Not sure what Daniel's going to be able to do. If he can actually get away from this, he can. Oh, Traction Pulse, nice block there. It doesn't follow through. An AOG too. Not going to catch Daniel with this one right now. Homeboys get some extra gold up there on that top, but it doesn't really convert to too much just yet. They're still going to go ahead and rotate into that next objective when it does come up here. One of the things that I was really impressed with by Verso Time, from their recent tournament all the way to their performance in group stages is, again, they are a team. Oh, I don't know if March is going to be able to survive this. He does flicker. Oh, last insanity from Mel Cutie. We'll be able to pick up that kill, and that's why the panel mentioned too, hey, they love the export. I think a lot of people do. He's reintroduced into the meta. You can't deny the amount of pressure a Last Insanity Ultimate can do.
Great start for Homeboys for this early game. They're winning all of their games. Most specifically that gold lane. The jungler is having so much fun, and Melkitty will secure War Axe very early into this. Export will now be able to activate it come the second turtle fight. If Versatile Time will even oblige to fight here, because it seems like the positioning from Xeno kind of tells us that they are not even interested in taking this turtle. Oh, boys are still fishing for kill.
Oh, Verso March, he has the sustain. Because it's a Ruby, because you got the Brace White emblem, because you're just the way it works. But they'll trade it though. Another turtle secured for Homeboys. A lot of attempt there down in that gold lane right now.
The Daniel carrying out for the members of Versus Time are for some reason Versus Time are still leading by a significant amount of goals. 100 at this point. That tells you that the side lanes are doing okay despite the death on.
Oh, Daniel goes in with a kick, man, right for Xeno. Revitalize is going to be pop 2, a defensive AOG on out by Boro. So they're just trying to not not get picked off like that. Like we've said, the Cho has popped up so many times throughout our series of games here for the games of the future.
Yeah.
And we always say that. Well, if you can get the AOG out defensively and it's not used as offensive, plus the revitalize, that's a bit of a win there for Homeboys right now.
Especially because they want to push the bottom lane. Like that, there's no AOG for this defense. Seems like Versatile will not even try to defend this. They still are holding on to 800 gold as their lead. And Lapu-Lapu Castle is getting gold up top as well by pushing the turret. And even when Homeboys are, it seems like they're doing the right moves here. Versatile still finding some ways to eventually get back to the fight. In fact, Zeno has more than recovered when it comes to the farm. He's now level 9 Toriko with Amal.
I'm not sure if this is going to convert to much. A Landshaker able to get the stun. Daniel, he gets pulled though with the I'm offended. A great pull once again from Verso March. And that's what I was going to say earlier on when I was talking about Verso Time's performance through Winter is Coming, the tournament before Games of the Future, and then their performance here through group stages now. They like to go ahead and play with these comfort picks. Verso March on the Ruby, he's had a bunch of good games with this hero alone. Sometimes even single-handedly turning fights around, just because, again, you know how powerful an I'm Offended or just a Ruby combination can be for a team to set things up. And, you have Castle to help with that. There's a kick from Daniel, though. Able to force a fight again. Last man standing, able to get tons of stacks from Verso March. He's gone. Kojic on the run. Zeno's going to be able to get a kill. The Turtle goes for a reset, and the Flying Clouds will bring Castle back to the fight. Kojic should be able to get away there. There's cutting him off from the re-entry, but looks like it's just going to go ahead and dissipate back to a reset. With Turtle still being up last one of the game, Reza starts this up. Amal now joining this, though, should be able to secure it just because, again, Zeno is down. As they do, Amal securing that 3 for 3 for the Turtles. But interestingly enough, Wolf, this entire time, despite all these Turtles going over to Homeboys, Verso Time has maintained a bit of a lead.
Really what's interesting right now. In fact, Zeno is 4.6k compared to 4.7k of Amal. Did have the triple killing spree on top for Zeno. Mind games coming up from Daniel. That was just a kick move coming up from the kill. And Zeno will not die or anything, but the fact that they forced Phantom Execution with Rico's out there, it makes it to the Homeboys. Yeah, we're down by 800 though, but we're fine.
Oh, but okay, he's not going to go and push the trigger a little bit more. Traction Pulse was thrown out, but nothing to follow through, and they'll just disengage. They don't really need to force anything with this while they wait for that Lord to come up in about a minute here. So if we look at Homeboys' lineup, then, it's more so just going ahead and playing for that scaling that they're going to have, especially with Izanami on this Lunox. Man, I feel like every single time we have a Lunox pop up, that's the case. Nice kick, though, but it's Castle. Bravest Fighter is on out. The last man standing, though, is able to clean him up. And over the turn, Reza, hungry for a kill, will finally kill Kojic. And right now, Homeboys just seems to flip a switch, garnering themselves 3 kills. What a great start from Daniel there with the kick.
Yeah, massive start for Daniel. And, of course, we can see Reza just focusing onto Kojic. Eat a whole combo of the Tilda. And, of course, the kill onto Castle started it all.
Earth down. Look, man, the value from this last insanity from Milk Beauty. Flying Cloud's going to be everybody back. Going to be forced to fight, most likely, as Pascal jumps for the Bravest Fighter, and the Lamb able to find 2 on the stun, even with the flicker. A great play and projection there from Castle. Not sure if they're going to be able to look for more. Amal should be able to get out of this with that kick for the Suyo, and they'll maintain that mid lane, but the Lord is up. Dino might go ahead and decide to give this a call to take it. It's only Milk Cutie down, though, but he is a big part of the damage. Reza gets taken out as well, and that's exactly what happens. Another pull from Verso March. Now with the numbers advantage, they're still going to watch all fronts here. They are starting this Lord. It's at half health. Daniel and Izanami on this other side. The opposite side here, they're going to go for the sandwich play. Daniel goes, trying to get Zeno, and Zeno's so low. But Izanami is able to secure the Lord for Homeboys. And that is a tough one to see as Verso Time. They fought for it, man. but they unfortunately lost the objective.
My God, Izanami will eventually be the MVP of this game if Homeboys eventually wins. Because you saw that in the first turtle fight where they were able to shut down Zeno, it's actually the Lunox bomb, the Ruby DD play coming up from Izanami that we have not seen in a while. And this time he waited for the opportune moment. We can see through the replay, he's waiting and looking for Zeno, and they were able to eventually take him out. He just focused the Lunox bomb, the Ruby DD play, onto that Lancelot. Because of that, we're able to get a kill. Izanami is cooking right now.
Okay. Well, it's going to be cleared out pretty quickly here. Verso time, despite how that team fight went, they're not too far behind. This is the first time throughout this game, though, where Homeboys has now bought themselves a pretty healthy lead. 2,000 up at this point. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get this tier 2 here, as the clearing is still really good, too, for Verso time. They're able to go ahead and kind of maintain these waves. And Homeboys has to be really careful on how they approach Verso time, especially if they're going to do it under these turrets, right? Even when later we get to the holy defenses being up, they have to be crucial in how they approach it, just because, like I said, Verso March, that Ruby can always mess things up for you. And even a Traction Pulse. So there's a lot of options that Verso time could go with, but right now Homeboys has been fighting really well, and Izanami is actually one of the better performing Lunuxes that we've seen so far in the past few days here.
It's going to be up to how they scale up